They got 2 pieces of bread. They started jamming it there, didn't they? 2 to be alive. Could have woke up dead, but we woke up alive this morning. Isn't that right? Didn't have to do it. But it done it again.
Yes, sir.
And here we are. Isn't that right? By the Cant and Mr. Yahuwah. That's how y'all learn anything, Layla? Good. The whole purpose of us coming out here to be taught. Isn't that right? Yes, taught what's the will of Mr. Yahuwah, what he mandated for us, and also to be taught on how we're going to avoid these races. Isn't that right? These people definitely out for our lives. They were showing some more. Now they're trying to say the young man they just releasing the tape for 2 years later in Louisiana, he died from cocaine use. He wasn't dying before they stopped him. He wasn't dying before they snatched him out the car. He wasn't dying before they put him on the ground. He died at the hands of riding racist police officers. They said one of them, after they found out there was an investigation, wound up killing himself in a car wreck. I'm not sad for him. Isn't that right? You take the life of somebody, they show remorse now to run and hide. They don't want to go where they sent us. That's what these white boys do. They don't mind shooting you. They don't mind making you beg for your life. They don't mind putting you in prison, but they don't want to go. And they're afraid of pressure. Just like some of them did when they found out they were getting arrested from that White House seizure, from the Capitol House they seized up in June the 6th. One of them from Atlanta, Georgia, he killed himself. I don't feel sorry for that bastard. You broke in, you committed a crime, let your white ass go to prison for it. Our people gone to prison for years and still in prison. That'd be part of our liberation too. Freeing our people that's in prison, especially political fighters. Ain't no way in the hell we got nobody should be sitting no prison no 20, 30 years for being proactive against a government that's been designed to put them in prison and kill them and rape them. These people heroes. They should be given medals and taken out. They should be compensated and took them from their family, from their lifestyle, from their career, from their survival, and caged them up like animals and let them out at your will when you know at that point they can't even provide for themselves anymore. We gotta break away from them. No longer can we sit on these people. I watched the mother of the young man Green, I forgot his first name, in Louisiana, they killed him. She started crying about it. She said she hadn't been able to really cry or really been able to kind of just scream out. All she wanted justice for her son, and they've been covering up for 2 years. She said her and the other family left grieving with no information while these dirty bastards covered up. This is why I get angry with our people, because we're so comfortable sitting around with these people. It's just a matter of time for it's your kids. You know, all these people became famous only because their kids were murdered. We'd have never knew nothing about George Floyd. They'd never been murdered. We never knew nothing about his brothers. We never knew nothing about Sandra Bland unless they hung in a jail cell. We never knew about Breonna Taylor. We never knew about Eric Garner unless they choked the hell out of them. Look at how our people become famous. It's at the hands of white people when they kill us. And the people that kill us get checks, write books, do interviews, transfer to other police precincts where they still keep wreaking the same habits on our people. Why they ask us to pray and wait on their tired ass Jesus. The hell with their Jesus. That's what got us here, their Jesus. First slave ship that brought us here was the good Jesus. Only person been good to it, the people that captured us. The people that brought us here and lied to it, the people that took our children. We never saw no results out of Jesus. If you say you did, you're gonna be telling lies. First of all, they don't even exist. So you couldn't have saw no benefit in him. All they did was kept us oppressed and depressed. That's why so many of our people had to commit suicide. They told us that's your only hope. That's your only savior. Hell, when it don't work, what else is it other than the suicide? It don't make no sense to keep going. If that's our only hope in Jesus, we, like Shaul said, we are all men most miserable. So we here to try to learn how we're going to try to break away from these people. We'll continue to struggle. There's no negotiation. There's no conversation about how we can work together and stay on them. We heard that shit before. We done heard that shit too many times. I don't care how they spread, it's still shit. You can go take some flowers and stick it on top of a turd, it's still shit. You can spray deodorant on top of it, air freshener, it's still shit. And white folks try to tell us that we can work it out while they still in charge and they're the rulers, it's still shit. Best thing to do is get rid of the shit and keep the flower. If the flower's been in the shit, throw the shit away with the flowers. It's time for us to get something that's gonna benefit us and our family. Our kids need an opportunity. If I got anything to do with it, I'm fine to make sure they get one too. You don't need no opportunity to go to prison. You don't need no opportunity to be no dropout and be no failure. You need the opportunity to be successful. And main thing we're working on too is our salvation. Isn't that right? That's the only we come here to. We're trying to work out two seams we got to get fixed. We got to work out what's happening to us right here in this hellhole they call America, and we got to work out our salvation. Isn't that right? We should only be working on one thing, but because we're here, we got to work on two. They won't let us just work on our salvation. They won't let us just serve Mr. Yahuwah the way we're supposed to. They always got to put something in front of us and try to block us, try to make us look like our truth is a lie and his lie is the truth. But he got to pay for what he's done. I will not pray for this man. I will not pray for his nation. I will not pray for his welfare. When he prayed for my welfare, he broke up our homes. He showed us what happened when he cared for our welfare, don't it? Shit still tore up. Homes still discombobulated. We still sick. We done had it Medicaid, Medicare. What kind of care you getting? Inadequate. He send you to a damn indigent hospital that only accepts your Medicaid. He sends you somewhere where you'll get treated hell. You'll do better if you went to a veterinarian. We need to take back control of our health care, our welfare, our education, our funding, and our feeding. We don't need that man to provide no more food for us. We need to get back out in the fields. We need to provide for ourselves. This time we won't be slaves. And we'll be agriculturals. Isn't that right? We'll be fun. We'll be industrial. And these people have to come back and they'll have to buy food from us instead of us buying from him. Isn't that right? He got more added in his food than he got the actual food. That's how he fills up a bag. Man sells you a bag of chips this tall, the damn chips at the bottom. Well, it's the same thing in the American dream. Put on the bag how many ounces is. That's how many ounces the bag will hold. That ain't how many chips you actually got. Man, give you shit, give you a gallon of milk. Hell, you only got probably about 10% milk. The rest of it's shit. Isn't that right? He don't feed your cows right. He don't feed your chicken right. Never seen no chicken eat the shit he feed. My chicken got to eat a worm. Chicken eat bugs because they're high in protein. So when you eat chicken, your body can get the protein. All he feed a chicken is corn. They ain't got no animal eat no damn corn. Ain't no nutrition in corn. Sorry, Mexicans. I just shut down the whole damn tortilla nation right now. All them tortilla get shot down. Only way you gonna get a benefit, hell, you gotta put some meat and lettuce in it to get something out of it. You eating just tortilla chip, hell, you ain't getting nothing. Nothing but filling your belly. A cow don't even eat corn. He forces it to eat corn. The cow get absolutely no benefit from it, and neither do you. A cow need to eat grass. A cow needs to eat hay. A cow don't need no damn vitamin shot. All this stuff he's doing, so that's why it's killing us. Time to get away from this cruel master. Time for us to start providing for ourselves, educating ourselves. Get ourselves so we'll know about us. The more we know about us, the better we feel about ourselves. What real history do you have about yourself? All your history, when it goes and start back, it dates to slavery. It dates to slavery. He took the book and called it the Bible and told you it was the truth, and he lied when he fabricated it. He gave it to you. If you try to see yourself, he showed you captivity and slavery. We spent years without being slaves. Isn't that right? We were free people. We were industrial people. We were creative people. We were warriors. We had governors and judges. We had police officers. We had sheriffs. We had everything. They came and took it from us. Relabeled it and came back, and now we trying to copy from them. It's time for us to get back to where we started. Y'all hear me? You know our book teaches in the book of Marshall Lee, remove not the old landmark. They moved it. They moved the boundary lines, and they crossed it on us. Every time we get somewhere, they did just like they did the so-called Indians. I still can't get over how these people are Indians if they're not from India. That makes as much as a white man tell me he an African American. Makes absolutely no sense. That means that's where you derive from. Y'all hear me? Why we let people keep telling us these lies? Because they know mad. They don't even know where they come from. Bunch of Spaniard white mixes. Everybody get credit, but listen, they still get them casinos. They'll still get them free fishing and hunting license. What you get? People don't even know where they come from, derive from, got more rights than you got. Another people come over here and take over, get 5 of them get their ass whooped, and they get a bill signed. You get your ass whooped and you got 20 bills in the mailbox, you got to pay them. Isn't that right? They whoop your ass and kill you, your family get a bill. Ain't a bill to fix the problem, it's a bill for them to make you pay for cleaning this shit up. Time for us to do something different. Y'all ready to break up with this cruel master? Yes, I check y'all every day, see where you at. Time to break up with this cruel master before he do something else crazy to him. Well, we're going to get ready to sign the Kato Sarah. Isn't that right? That's the name of what we're doing now. It means to sunder, to separate. That's what they get ready to do. The sound they're about to give out is called the Kato Sarah. It means to separate, asunder. It means to split. When you hear this, we're supposed to separate. From whatever you're doing, you stop it. You break away from it. It's time for us to get away from this cruel master. We do this 3 times a week and twice on the Shabbat. That's 5 times. Time to get it right. Y'all got it? We keep hearing it, but when are we going to do it? When are we going to do it? Let's see. All right, y'all go ahead. Do what you're doing. That's right. Keep doing your thing till his thing kick in. All right. No good. Slide it back up. Fun enough, huh? That 15-second of fame gonna kill us. Ain't enough he got his own little movement over there. Now he done start moving in on the people over here. Reset that, does it like it's even? Y'all bet does it like it's even? Need to come on that way a little bit. That's it, boom, that's what I do. Coming straight in out. Y'all know we're gonna start at Romans 15:4. Why are we starting here? You gotta have a base. Always gotta have a foundation. If you're gonna build, you gotta have a foundation. As simple as it might sound, if you don't have a base, you don't have a foundation, then you don't have nowhere to start from. You don't know where you need to get back to. See, that's just like the so-called Negro. If you tell them let's skate, everybody gonna have a different opinion where we need to go. And that's only gonna be a problem, gonna be confusing because we don't know where we derive from. That's just the truth. You gotta get people back to where we started at. Y'all got it? Especially for us, if we're gonna get our real history, you're not gonna get it from them. All the history they're gonna give you gonna involve right here. That's their story, that's their lie. You won't find another country that got the same lie they got. Every one of these countries got their own story, their own version of what happened. Y'all know that? He'll make it look like, you ask him about his story, he'll say y'all niggas was sitting around with green monkeys. And not one of them monkeys left here yet. He ain't found one green monkey, the bones or the skin of a green monkey. And you played with your green monkey and your green monkey scratched you and gave you AIDS. How he knew about it? Why did he bring you here and have sex with you? Why did he emasculate your men, having sex with them, homosexuality, when you had AIDS from your green monkey? Then he came back and said you're responsible for the green monkey, for the AIDS in America. But yet he slept with you knowing that you had the disease. Which lie you gonna believe? When we first learned about AIDS, Rock Hudson had it.
Yep.
He the first person we heard had AIDS was Rock. Like y'all, how many of y'all remember that? It was Rock Hudson. After that, it was Liberace. Ain't that right? They didn't went on around there and had to get a nigga Arthur Ashe. He should have put some lotion on his ass. You know, he got Ashe and he got it. But we had more of them that had it than we did it.
That's right.
We got it when they came in our community and started giving them women a little Nordics putting in their arm. They started giving them the birth control. We never checked that stuff behind them. I remember years ago in the late 80s, early 90s, I used to do non-emergency transportation. I would be picking them up, we'll take them. They had clinics and hospitals. They always had appointments. They'd go there, making sure they were keeping them medicated. Making sure they were keeping them, make sure they would go back and they would transfer to their kids and they'll pass it to their lovers. See, everything they've been doing, we never went back to recheck to see the studies what actually was done to us. Because white people keep them studies. White people keep them numbers. You don't know when you walk in there, they just tell you to pull a number. And you number 6 or number 15 or number 78. But he got the real numbers back there with him. He know who he's infected. He gave you a card so he can keep up with you. He set your appointments and gave you your doctors. And that's been the biggest part of your demise. Now you go and check all them kids that were born from the early 90s, late 80s. Them the one that's crazy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't want to check that out, do it.
Right.
I grew up born and bred in Atlanta. We always had our problem, but our social system was a lot better than what it is now. The killings and all the stuff we got going in Atlanta, we didn't have it like that in the early 70s. Mm-hmm. When we flipped on the news, you find about a murder in Atlanta. That damn thing been on the news for 3 weeks. It'd be a while before you hear about it. You never heard about no 4 and 5 murders in no one news segment. Now, Cass, you remember that, don't you? How many of y'all remember that? We know that. You never remember no time we had in no 80s, we had no 5 murders in no one day on no news. Never heard of it. Once white people got their hands on them. Mm-hmm. They found a city that was predominantly ran by blacks. They saw a city where blacks were being created. Same thing they did with Detroit, they tore it down. Why y'all think they took all the General Motors and Ford and started shutting down and laying people out? Too many blacks had got on.
Niggas, that's right.
Detroit was a black city. Anywhere a black city been, Oklahoma, any of these cities, Louisiana had them. A lot of the people don't know, after they so-called liberation of freeing blacks, Louisiana was one of the first states, and New Orleans one of the first cities that had black males and black police chiefs. Decided one day they're gonna lock up somebody white. That shit ended. The blacks got thrown out. They took everything from elected official. White snatched them down and took them out. Same shit they just pulled January the 6th. Mm-hmm. What that show you? Had nothing changed. How did the people of this generation know how to react like people did in the 1800s? They taught their kids, you ain't got to go to no ballot box. They just do that to make niggas think it's a democratic system. They make you, if the people had the voice what they claim the word Democrat mean, let's see what the word Democrat mean. Let's see where it come from. Most of these people don't know no different. That's what your whole fight is. Law, people fighting law. Your Democrat-Republican fight is people fighting law. The problem reason why we fighting it because the law don't work for us. The law is against us. You can look up the meaning, you put democracy. Oh, damn, well, we still say, let's see what it say anyway. A system of government by a whole or all the eligible members of a state. You see that right there? Eligible. That's what they get you right here, nigga. That's ineligible, that's it. You unable, inadequate, all that fits you. So that's how they get you. See, it's a system of government by a whole population, members of a state. Your ass is not listening and you ain't paying attention. How you think these folks, let me show you how they get you. Democracy. They say, this is democracy. This is democracy. How we fight it? We fight it at the polls. When they don't do what we want them to do, we'll all go to the polls. Then when you got there, you know they did. They had literacy tests. See, how many of y'all remember this? Some of the older ones, they remember that. They had literacy tests for you to vote. You had to prove, first of all, you were literate. And we had a damn bunch of damn retards running the system. Here you had to take a test before you vote. If you actually went in there and you read some of the questions they give you, you don't know if they ask you to vote for something or shoot it down. The way they'll put it in there, the way they'll verbalize, or how they'll orchestrate, and they'll put a question of you to vote, you'll spend more time in that question. And I'm trying to think, are they asking me, am I against it or for it? It's to trick you. Everything to trick you. That's how they beat you. A system of government, listen to what they said, by the whole is the entire complete, or all the eligible. This is how they get you right here. They got you. This or is here. And the Negro is not eligible. That's why they never set it up for you. We can continue to run there, we can continue to do it, but you'll never get what you're actually going for. If you put somebody there with a face look like us, that person's still gonna be ran and controlled by white people. When white people put one of their people in there, nobody tell them nothing. Look at Marjorie Green right here from Atlanta, Georgia. Running around, got folks scared as shit of her. Running, trying to open their doors and get that burglar. Oh, my dog bust her damn head with a baseball bat. Hell, you gonna open my door and walk in here for? That's a criminal offense. Chasing you down the hall, going at you. Why she not being arrested, have been charged for harassment? See, white folk don't do that to white folk. Look at, how about when the so-called black woman went up here representing and she just wanted to go in to see the governor to sign a bill? Outside the door. Never called my name, never touched the door, never tried to get in. She was arrested. And while they were taking her out, she stepped on one of the officer's foot and got a charge for assault on the officer. How you gonna win with a system like that? Still up there working, and the owner, and then when they told Joe Biden, his name Biden, I don't know why he keep telling, name Biden. He bidded on y'all ass ain't gonna be nothing. Joe Biden sat there and they asked him about it. He said he hadn't heard about it. Let me see, a representative from Congress has been here and been arrested and charged with assault on an officer because a governor just signed a bill to try to keep blacks from voting. They try to prevent them by saying you can't give them water or food, and the president of the United States don't know shit about this. This just popped across him when he saw the news. Folks, stop being stupid. That's right. You know why he stayed back? She should have stayed her black ass from up down. Yep. That's a white man. He's a governor. He's just like the president of that state. And the only reason he intervened because so many people jumped on his ass and started letting him know this gonna hurt you. We're gonna call you out on this. We're gonna let folks know you ain't never changed. You still the racist motherfucker we put in there the first time. I don't know why people think he changed. The man done told you he didn't want the kids going to school. You were animals. Yep. Ask him, has he changed his opinion about you being animal? Because he went with Barack. He ain't went there with Barack. Barack don't pick, the president don't pick no vice president. They give him the vice president. The party pick your vice president. How many of y'all here thought the president pick your vice president? Pick shit. The president don't pick no damn vice president. The party let him know you're going to pick between these. This is what you got right here. This who you rolling with. They want to put a white boy, now they know they'll control that ass. Yep. Most of y'all don't even know, he hardly ever even stayed up there. He stayed at his house. Most of y'all wouldn't know that. Hell, he was at Delaware more than he was up down. Yep. White man was making money doing business deal while the nigga was running around here getting insulted. His wife being told by a police officer to walk up, show a picture of a gun and say, you see this? This what I want to use to shoot you. Can y'all imagine the president of the United States, his wife, was shown a picture of a gun. He said, this what I want to use to shoot you with. What was the Secret Service? What was the FBI? Well, he was punished. I don't want to act like the man wasn't punished. Our system ain't that damn archaic. He was punished. He been charged now with some serious charges behind that, doing that. He can never work another motorcade. Y'all don't know how much that's gonna hurt him? He can never work another motorcade with the president now. He's been stuck to reduce the desk duty. So that hurt him in his pay and his family. They've been destroyed. There's nothing they'll do to these white people that sit around and make a fool out of us. And the only reason I'm talking to y'all like this, you don't ever need to fall asleep and think this system gonna change. It's not gonna change till you get out of it. The only way for this system to properly change, you have to go and take the Constitution and rip the shit up, and you gotta form a new one. And these white folks ain't gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. That's the only fight and leverage they always had against you is that Constitution. That's why they won't get rid of it. You need a Constitution that works for you. You need a system that works for you and that provides for you. That if you fell down and you needed help or something, that you had a right and that the government had to come in. Well, let me say that. The reason why you see stuff like this, democracy, a system of a government by the whole population, and what this thing typically through elected representatives. So what actually happened, the only reason you have a government, this is a body that is supposed to be here, an entity that's supposed to work to make sure the will of the people is being enforced. That's the only reason it's there. There's no other operation for government. It's only here to make sure whatever you guys want is being done. Y'all understand that? That is the only political sign. Am I correct? That's all government is here for. Government is here to make sure whatever the majority of you guys want is being done. That's it. So let me see. Your black ass is getting shot. And that's what you want. You have to. The majority, the eligible people want your ass shot. You're not a thinker. You're not a thinker because most of you guys don't even know what government is for. That's the only reason you have it. The military is only there to make sure that other things are not infringed upon you from other countries. because you have certain rights, and that government is set up to make sure you have a defense. That's what you pay your taxes and stuff for. So in order you can have a defense, if somebody wants to come in and take over your democracy, your whole population, if somebody wants to take over your system, your military is there to make sure that that doesn't happen. Let me see. How many of y'all in here are people of color? Can I see a hand? So that'd be a majority? Okay. How many of y'all want your ass shot and beat and tasered when you've done nothing? So the majority of the people don't want that. So where's this number greater than you that's saying they want it? Because the government should be stepping in, and there should be what they would call reform. There should be some type of enforcement there to prevent that, since the will of the people is not for you to be shot. Or is it that the whole population of the eligible people are not you? See, I'm asking you questions and trying to get you to think. This democracy they tell you about, this whole population of eligible people, ain't you, nigga. It's white people. And they don't have a problem with it simply because it's not them and it's not their children. So you can go and you can fight with the police officer. You can go and you can fight with you can go and fight with your prosecutor. All these people are only working based off of. The prosecutor only got two things they got to look at. That's law. You got your state law and you got your federal law. They're going to be enforcing state laws. Most of us had never read their state and look at what all they have on the books. So their prosecutor is going to go with what they give them. And they have the ability to disannul or ignore or activate at their leisure. Since we don't know. We're not the people that are going to let check behind us. They're not going to let us up boards and panels that's going to be designed to go behind and look and check every case, check case law. So we victims. From the time you're arrested, to the time you're processed, to the time you're bonded out, and you know you can't come back to court without a lawyer, an attorney, somebody that's a part of their system, who speaks their language, who eats and hangs with them, who's going to college with them. You pay, but you have to understand this is a club. Y'all got it? So now you're sitting here at the mercy of people that's already orchestrated and working to make sure that you're not getting out. You praying, you're hoping, you're crying, you're pissing, you're shitting, you're nervous, you got bubble guts, and you hoping some kind of way God will show mercy on you. That Jesus, his son, who died for your sins, intervene some kind of way in a hopeless case. You sitting here hoping something's going to work out. Do you know all these people already know what they agreed on? The judge, the sheriff department, the prosecutor, they already know what they're going to do. They've discussed your case before you got there. You're the only sucker sitting here with prayer to some foreign deity that has nothing to do with you. Jesus has absolutely nothing to do with you other than your incarceration, your false imprisonment, the kidnapping of you and your children. They got federal laws against that. Transporting minors over state lines. Shit, you can't go no further than from Africa to here. What's the charging for that? But the so-called Negro, he'll never acknowledge it. You know why? Because he know his mind is enslaved to this master. This master control his pay week, his pay month, his payday. This cat can control his whole welfare. Everything you got is in the hands of these crackers. And when they get ready, they can take it and shut it down. They can close it down. They keep laws and make laws to make sure they keep you in bondage. Yep. You can never be a free thinker. You get anybody say, I'm my own man, they got this on. You your own man as long as he allow it. That's why we got to cut it off. We got to be men and women of distinction and not by his chart. We can't, if he grade any of us, none of us going to meet the expectation. That's the first thing. None of us going to meet your hair too knotty, your nose too wide, your skin too black, and your ass too wide. You're too tall and you're too thick. You don't meet the blood pressure chart. You don't meet the weight commendation for your size. You ain't the right height for it. You ain't smart enough. You ain't light enough. You'll never meet none of the criteria he got for anything that's really astute. The ones where he let in, you got to let one escape through, and they ain't got no pull and no power. So at what time do we start realizing, you know what? It's time to break away so we can be at peace. I don't want to be an angry man. I want to be like a white man. I want to be happy. I want to ride with the care and the leisure knowing, hi, officer, and you ain't going to blow my brains out. If I'm getting pulled out, surely it's only to tell me something. I just want to let you know your light was out. Could you make it your business the first chance you get to fix it? I'll make sure I do that. And thank you, and you have a great day and be safe. And you should be safe when you're among people that feel like you ain't a hurt or threat to me, I ain't one to you. Versus you get pulled over and you got to look at your kids and look and think, they might kill us all. Now you might walk away and maybe perhaps you won't be that family, but it's somebody that will, that look like you. And every time you see somebody look like you get shot, you know what white folks say? All y'all look alike. That's right. So want all those lookalikes get the hell out of him. Yeah. We can distinguish and identify. He'll get a call, 6'3", jet dark black man, bald head. He'll go get a 5'5", high damn yellow boy who 3'2", and say he fit the description. After all, don't they all look alike? He didn't even try. But I don't used to keep talking about that. They don't want to talk about stuff like that. That's not stuff make them feel good about themselves. Let's look at where Democrat comes from. Or does it bring us down to it? Plural. Does it Greek? Democrat, democracy, 16 late French, democratie, late Latin from the Greek, democracy from demos. You see that demos? The people plus power. See that? Democrat. Most of them ain't know nothing. How many of y'all knew what Democrat meant? 2 people? 3? And your ass ran around hollering you was a what now? Ask them why they was a Democrat. Because Democrat for black folk. You know what they call a donkey don't know nothing? A dumbass. Know what you call a donkey that don't know nothing? A dumbass. So do you understand when white people say stuff, they understand what they're saying? Do you know the detriment of claiming something and saying something and you don't even know what you're saying? Most of these people don't know what them crackers, they hate us. That's why I'm a Democrat. What power you got, nigga? How many of y'all tell the truth? How many of y'all were Democrat? Go tell the truth. Raise your hand, let me see why. Let me ask you a question. Why was you a Democrat, Ken? Called blacks? That's because of blacks. See, that's showing you the danger of. And now when you go to those of us that were Republicans, I was more Republican, independent. And the problem was, even when you look at Republican, now you're going for the rule of law. Let's go with that. Y'all repeat, y'all hit the next word out of me. I pledge to the United States of America, flag, and for. Can we pull up that article when the Supreme Court ruled about the case in 1857? We put that writing up against Scott. Y'all heard what you just said now. Did y'all hear what you just said? How many of y'all used to stop and pledge allegiance? Okay, I just made sure now. The Dred Scott decision was the U.S. What is this? meaning nothing's over. Courts ruling on March 6, 1857, that having lived in a of what was this? And see, they don't use this no more. These were territories. Did not entitle and enslaved Dred Scott to his hold on, what he lived at? And let me say this. Did not entitle an enslaved person, Dred Scott, to his. So you know what that teaches me? A nigga can set in freedom and still be a slave. I'm gonna have to say this, be offended. New York and California, two of the dumbest some bitches I ever heard. They two of the dumbest. I'm telling y'all why. They always run the South down on how y'all stay down here. How y'all stay, man, ain't no way, man, I couldn't live in them slave state. Man, where we come from, ass get shot quicker than anybody. Ass get whooped quicker than anybody. Eric Garner got choked right here in Covington, Georgia. In a free state. More of their asses get killed than anybody. Yep. And they always program their mind back down on the South. Man, I don't know how y'all do it. Man, them crackers so racist. Where was Rodney King at? Decatur, Georgia. Ass got tore up right up there in L.A. They always programming people thinking we need to move to these different states. No matter where you move, you got federal law still got you trapped. Yep. This is the Supreme Court, niggas. Yep. This is the U.S. Supreme Court. This ain't no court of their state. The major court that rules on everything, who can shut down any appellate court, any circuit court. And that's really circus court. Any state court, county court, the U.S. Supreme Court. Once they rule, that's it. How many of y'all know this? You cannot overturn a U.S. Supreme. There's nobody to appeal. That means you're an onion. Your ass been appealed. This decision was about a U.S. Supreme Court. Y'all caught on to it. Yeah, that's right. They don't peel your onion. They've already decided, even if you live in a free state, you still a damn enslaved person. Dred Scott to his freedom. He can't get it. In essence, the decision argued that as someone's apostrophe means ownership. The only reason you use the apostrophe and put an S is ownership. If I said, these are my grandchildren's, no, it won't work. Tony's grandchildren. That means there's ownership. Y'all got it? They're telling you, and see, Cracker's right, you don't even understand language. They're telling you someone's property. Scott was not a, Let's look at what is a citizen. Let's look at what is a citizen. They ain't educated worth a damn. We ain't been educated worth a damn. School system ain't taught me shit. They taught me how to be a slave. All school do is teach how. Hold on, let me say this now. Hell no, you ain't dropping out. Don't even ask me. Y'all ain't gonna pull that shit with me. Isn't that right? You ain't gonna do it. I need you to learn the system. That way you can learn. I'm gonna teach you right. I'm gonna get you from under that oppressive way. So you didn't know what your fight about, so you need to learn this system. So when we teach you a better system, you can distinguish. How you gonna judge if you only got one thing to look at? Whenever they typically have a court case and you have a jury, you know they're gonna present evidence. They're gonna present evidence so you have something to help you weigh in your decision. If you only heard one thing, then you don't really have nothing to weigh it against. I know they don't like me. The hell with them. A legally recognized subject on legally. Legal. So you're talking legal. a legally recognized subject or national of a state or commonwealth, either native or naturalized. Naturally, your ass is not a citizen. You're not a native by his definition. Because you go and you sign paperwork and you say you are a African American. You know what he put on his? Caucasian or white. He don't have to put European American, Italian American. He don't have to put in hyphenate his. Because then you're saying to him that you're not native. He just landed his ass here in the late 1600s or so. And all of a sudden, he the damn originator. When he got here, shit was already started and running, operating. People were mining gold. People already planting and growing. When he got his ass, couldn't grow nothing. Couldn't even grow a hair on his ass. So you need to look at this, because when you put it out of your mouth, you need to know what you're saying. How many of you felt you was a citizen of the United States? So legally, this is what shoots you in the ass right here. Legally. You've been saying you were one because why? You were born here. That will make you native. This is what caught you up you don't pay attention to. Legal. Is it legal? You can do a lot of stuff and have stuff. I can have a car. It's my car. But let me ask you a question. Is it mine legally? That makes a big difference. Is it your car legally? Or is it yours because you say it? What legal paperwork do you have that say you're a citizen? Let's go back and look at what we had. Yeah. Let's finish, stroll me up a little bit. Scott was not a citizen and could not sue in a federal court. He was trying to sue these people. You think this nigga had enough brain to know how this system worked? You think he was sitting here operating for himself? These people together. See, if you let something like this go, this is what they would call a landmark case. Which meaning people will start quoting this case when they go and fight to do the same thing. Your Honor, I just want to quote in 1876, whatever article this falls under. Because they keep certain codes for these cases they won. Landmark, so you don't know shit like that. So you're quoting it. Guess what attorney at the church said? Well, the Supreme Court ruled that Scott in a free state could not be a slave, and he was a slave, and the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that they had to pay him. Judge can't ignore this shit. That's the court that oversees all courts. So we got to go ahead and rule in the favor of this person that's using this landmark case. That's how they'll work together to make sure they don't lose money. Because other niggas will start following this pattern. So I got to teach you stuff like that. Let's go ahead. We can talk about Jesus. What you want to know about him? What you want to pray about? Do you stay where you pray? You stay out here. On the other side of them two swinging doors. And what's going on and happening out there to you, you need to understand how it's working against you and how you turn the table to make stuff work in favor of you. Once we can get our people to a certain amount of knowledge and information, then you stop taking so much of the detriment and you start turning and start making success. See, right now, everything is to your detriment, but you don't know how to turn and make it work for your success. Huh? Didn't I have something else about this where the Supreme Court discussed this case? About being a citizen? How you can never be, and how it was never intended, the Constitution was never intended. Y'all need to understand this is what they use. This is in every state. Everybody has to recognize the Constitution. You know when white people recognize the Constitution? When they want to. Yep. When they want to. Yep. But let me say this now. I'm sorry. I got to apologize. I slightly said that somewhat incorrectly. Because in actuality, when they went in there in January the 6th, the reason why it's such a problem, how many of y'all feel like this is a whole big drag out and these people were wrong when they went in there in the Capitol? Okay, we wrong. Because first of all, when they established it, the people have the right that most of it, it's in there. You notice you don't see the police and you don't see the feds taking how they going in and they taking down militias. Because the founding fathers they have founded militias. What's the about it? Paul Revere? There were many men. You know who they were? They were not military. These were citizens with guns that were supposed to jump up in a matter of minutes and get dressed and go fight. That's called a militia. That's why the founding fathers never intended for people to be without guns, because they came from a country where had citizens with no guns and weaponry, and they felt like they didn't have a voice. They didn't have a rule. And they wanted you to know that when the government got too big and oppressed the citizen can overtake it. You notice first thing they went, if you look at video and they went in there, see if you put up a video when they actually got inside and went into the office and started talking. Who know what they said they wanted to do? They said, first of all, we had to set up a government. They started telling people where to sit. We don't even know that shit. One of them went and said, they said, no, don't sit in that chair. They said, you don't respect the office. You do not disrespect them. How many of y'all didn't pay attention when they said this? That these people walked in, when they made it inside there on the floor, they said the first thing we need to do, we need to establish a government. We need to set up a government. One of them jumped their little happy while they said, don't sit there. They said, don't disrespect the office. How many of us would have known that? First thing we did, start taking selfies. They understood that at that time when they made that move, that there was a need to establish a government, otherwise you're going to have anarchy and chaos. I don't know what to tell y'all. Let's see what happened. Roger, what's that last name? Tanny was born into the southern aristocracy. Is that aristocracy? Aristocracy. I was going to get to that too. I want to hear Aristotle cousin. And became the 5th Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. Tanny became best known for writing the final majority opinion in the. We familiar with this, ain't it? Which said that all people of, what does all mean? People of free or enslaved were not United States legally. What was the definition of a citizen? Legally. And therefore had rights to. I seen that. I want to make sure y'all niggas looking. Why y'all think these black attorneys ain't took this shit to Supreme Court? Because you can't be a lawyer if you don't know the Constitution. What you gonna do when you run there in the Supreme Court when those 9 got to pull this and look at what did the courts rule before we got these seats? Y'all, am I making y'all sleepy? No. Y'all do know this Tony Smith shit, right? I made this. I'm the one who wrote this up and put this on the internet. Were not United States citizens, and which is conjunction, therefore had rights to sue. No right to sue in where? Federal court. That's where we need to go. We need to take this to federal court, what they're doing to us. So the judge is sitting here, who's only sitting here and is the referee. While these 2 attorneys argue, I know the Constitution. I already know what the rulings are on this case. You think I walked out here and heard the case right now? I've already looked this case over. And when I do, there are people that take me back, and I got law clerks that I sit in. Go and look this up. So I'm familiar before. You think I walked down, all right, sat down here. First time I'm hearing this. I already heard it. I already know it. We looked it up, and my decision is made up. But y'all niggas can go ahead and talk. Sir, we're here today because the African-American people are being unjustly and unfairly treated as American citizens. What shit done stopped it done already clicked his mind? African-American. What does that hit? First of all, you ain't got none. Second of all, you're not a legal citizen. Now, what are you trying to get me to rule on? I done heard enough of this right now. What are we going to keep going there? Sir, what we'll look to do is we'll look to present our case today, and we're sure and we're looking for the court to find in our favors. I don't know how, unless I'm going to go against the Constitution. Because I'm not supposed to be up here off of my opinion. I'm supposed to be here ruling based off of what? That's legal. Law is legal. What does the legal system say about you being a citizen?
Non-existent.
That's why you need to learn where to fight your case at. Were not United States citizens and therefore had no rights to sue in federal court. And in addition, that means something else adds up to this. He wrote that the Fifth Amendment protected slave rights because. What about my Fifth Amendment right? You own slaves? Do you own slaves? What the hell you talking about your Fifth Amendment right for? It protects slave owners. Didn't I just show y'all this last night? That the amendment was only trying to make it even more perfect? It was fairer. The shit was fair when they wrote it. It was for white people. What ain't fair is you keep demanding something that was never written for you. Write your own shit. That's right. Get your own shit. That the Fifth Amendment, now we're going to have to look at the Fifth Amendment. Is that all right with y'all? Yes, sir. Cut that down to them. Hot, protected slave owners. Right. What right you got to own another human being? What right? Did you walk up and give me that right? Come on for me. I'll own you right quick. Come on. I'll own you. Did you ask me to own you? Did you bargain a deal with me for me to own you? Do you want me to own you? I'm so glad the Fifth Amendment protects my right. Give a damn about what he want. Let's go with the law. What you is, boy? Your mom asking, boy. What you is? White, European, Asian, black what? African American. Shit, I've been waiting on you, boy. Come here, boy. Look at you, nigga. Boy, it's good to see a nigga doing good for himself. Come here, boy. Ain't it good to see a nigga doing good for himself? Did that sound dumb what he said once you learn better? He told he was an African American, shot himself in the foot right there, didn't he? So when the shit been going out your mouth, how you think they been rolling with white people? You got rights to protect you. The Constitution in your favor. I got to let you go. I might mess around and get in trouble messing with you. Police are slave catchers. Yep. Listen, you wonder why you always see white people intervene, jumping and shit, don't have nothing to do with them and jumping. Because once he called, come here for a second. Borrow him for a second. You go ahead and skate. Don't forget on your ass, right? What you say you was again? White, European? African American, that's how they say. You can go ahead, you can skate. Hey, my nigga gone! All white folk gonna come help me catch that nigga. Cause this, so see that's how you automatically deputized. When y'all done seen before them old move, police sheriff walk in, he look around, he start deputizing. I get a badge and shit? Yeah, get a badge. And they already got the gun, let's go. And we wonder how many of y'all have watched it? How white people just jump in and shit, just make this sound like the police. Because it allows them to do that. Citizens arrest. That ain't for your black ass. Don't you know that means, listen, I see you something, it's illegal to walk past right there, come on. To the rest! I caught your ass, I'm gonna take your ass, I'm gonna shoot your ass, boy. See, as a white citizen, what you is again? Now, unless you white, what you is now? African American, shut no, all right. Ain't a court nowhere can convict me for this. What did he have? Let me see. What did I infringe upon? His legal rights? He don't have any. That's why the assault shooter, when the feds tell you they're gonna investigate it. The whole shit a hoax because now you're going against the Constitution. But could this all be a frame, which is a pretense? So a nigga don't start studying and reading and realize it's all theatrics. Because we don't need you niggas to start reading and researching and start learning that certain things you say condemn you before you even get started. Why don't we come back here? We come back. What did I finish reading what his ruling was? Okay. Let me see. And slave, what I stopped federal right. He wrote that the Fifth Amendment protects slave owner rights because meaning reasoning. Enslaved were their. See, you gotta have this here. Because now it come back to what you saying. You saying shut your mouth, is it legal? Can we find out what legal means? I saw right, boy, y'all. Listen, y'all don't have to come back. Because you know what you don't need to do? Come here and learn a whole lot of verbiage and language, and you run out here and the language you actually speaking is what's condemning you. This way you can get condemned because you don't know linguistics. So you get shot in the ass out here. Go ahead and throw your arbory on me. That man don't speak no arbory. That man speak legal. I'm telling you, pull it, shalom. Shalom up. Boy, I said it again, I'll blow your damn brains out right now. I just said peace to you, brother. I'll harm you. You gonna rob who? I'll blow your motherfucking brains out. I never said that. I said I love you. So he speaks legal. The problem is you hadn't learned how to speak the language of these people. Of, based on, or concerned with law, legal. The American legal system. You see what it is? The who? You're not American. You say you were African American. That shoots you. Appointed or required by the law. That's what it's appointed or required by the law. Y'all hear what that is? The law sets it. This is what the law mandates. The law said that you're not a citizen. And that these amendments that you like quoting and you teach your kid and your kids learn in school, it protects slave owner rights. Y'all understand how dangerous this is? That we went to school, that we were educated, so we thought, and it was really to your demise. Because we say things and we don't even realize how detrimental they are to us. So we need to know what we're saying. Because a lot of verbiage we have, it hurts us. What they mean? Come on, son. Come on, son. Ask me I know you. You stop me, ask me I know you.
Know me?
You didn't even stop me.
Oh, hey, you know me?
No, I don't recognize you. I know damn well I know who this man is. But legally, that's the problem we got. See, this is the problem right here, Eric. We keep jumping out here. You know I'm an American citizen. I don't recognize it. See, all I recognize is what the law states. And the law states you as an Asian, European, what was again you said you was? African American. Now, what does the law teach me about that? So if I whoop his ass, I'm being an American citizen. If I shoot his ass, I kill an American. That's how I can do it, because I don't recognize you legally. You know what hurt us? Why these churches, religious, mosques, synagogue, are not sitting down people telling them, you're out, this way you live at. This how you operate out here every day. And you don't know what you're saying is killing you. It's killing you every day. Permitted. That would be allowed. Some of us have a gun, which means it's allowed. They'll let you drive on the street, but you're still an American citizen. To prove that, they even give illegal aliens license. We will allow that. We will recognize you driving. We will not recognize you as a citizen. You know who they didn't put in now? Asian American, Hispanic American. Nobody. Only African Americans don't have rights in their courts and in their system. See, now you recognize why you're getting shot, why you're getting killed, why you're not advancing. Why would you continue to be in a system that does that to you? Somebody give me an argument on why we should still stay. Because we're going to pray. Because my Jesus, wow! You know, Jesus wanted this shit on the paper. That's what your Jesus did for you. He ain't came to teach you. They don't recognize it, permitted by law. We can go back, finish up his statement. Man, y'all look bad. I'm sorry I hurt y'all. How many of y'all learning something? I'm learning with you. Listen, I have free study. I already know how these people work. But I want you to look these words and these statements so now you take away the power that people got over you. White man, come on, this is what I'm saying. Hey there, brother, let me see. Yeah, you mind me asking you, are you African American? I mean, because I know different people from here. Where you from? African American. That's all right, good here. I can own his ass whenever I want to. I blow his damn brains out. He don't even know he just gave himself a death sentence. He just gave me this. What court's gonna convict me? Let me say, this is how they get you. Probably on the lower line courts, but when you learn how to do like what you do with let me see what it does. But like an orange, learn how to peel. Meaning you pull some shit away. Let's pull this shit off and let's look at it for what it is. That's what you do, you peel an orange. So you can get to really what it is. That's how they do it with the court. Let's appeal this and take this up to where it needs to go. Because when these people here and I start bringing back in these cases, they got to recognize their own writings. They got to recognize their writings. Especially when I start saying what the Constitution says. Y'all know when they had this Supreme Court ruling, how you get to sit there in the court with them while they go over it? Y'all sure? Because you don't want to hear what they talk about. Let me see. The decision also argued that the Missouri Compromise legal legislation passed to balance the power between slave states was constitutional and what is this? Somebody decided, let me holler about the legislation, what they passed in Missouri. And the Supreme Court further passed, there is no balance. The scales are tilted. They're not even. Do you know what a balance is? That means you have a certain amount on each side. The best are telling you, but you still sitting here studying and reading and paying your money to try to get somewhere so you can get a fair chance. When the courts and the legal system already, the decision also, which means it included, argued that the Missouri Compromise legislation passed, meaning this went through. We ain't arguing about no shit they were trying to put in law. It's already law in this state. To balance the power between slave and non-slave states was unconstitutional. In effect, this meant that Congress had no power to prevent the spread of. I'm finna call my congressman. That's what a dumb nigga say. Yeah. Are you learning anything?
Yes, sir.
How many of y'all have a memory that I made this up and put this up here? This is my website. This is my writings. How do you feel about walking and buying signs to talk to these people and go to court to argue your liberation? Who's going to hear it? Somebody who's been elected to make sure, don't you know you swear an oath to the Constitution? These soldiers in here. How many ex-soldiers? What was that y'all were arguing for? State rule law? What was it? To defend the what? Which means if enough of y'all black ass get together and you decide you want to fight this thing, I will activate the military. Yep. Who has sworn an allegiance to the Constitution. All I'm telling y'all, why would you argue with them? What is your discussion going to be about? The only logical explanation or conversation is we got to stop this. And the only way to stop it is to write a constitution that favors your liberation. Is this the type of person that's going to agree to this? Because if he did, he'll have to give back land, give back property, give back children, give monies up. Because we got to have a balance. And the scales are tilted. Only thing you at the top of, you're number one in AIDS, you're number one in incarceration, you're number one for drug abuse, you're number one for poverty, you're number one for being the most uneducated race. You're at the top. You saw they beat you out. So we got to change the dynamic and teach our children that when they're being educated, we got to monitor and watch what they're being taught. Then we got to take corrective measures by teaching them what's actually being stated. If we lead them to the master, what do you think the master going to teach them? Come on for a second. I'm borrowing again from mine. I use you a lot now. Y'all want me to spin around? You want me to use your caution? No, you use that karate shit last night. We're not doing that. We're not. I tell them I whoop you. I see some shit. I said, let's cut it off now. I seen in your eyes. So now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna teach you some stuff, okay? All right, this is my gun, okay? I use this like if you try to run, like say like hypothetically you try to run, BOW! I shoot you. That's stop it. You do something. If I say something to you, you don't do it. I want you to bend and pick that up. You ain't gonna pick it up though. BOW! So I want you to know the danger detriment when you don't do what I tell you to do. And this is what I do to hold to keep you in check, to keep you, right? So take that. Like say if you could get your hands on that, right? And you don't like what I'm doing to you, you could use this to get away from me. If I tried to come and do something to you, you could use it against me because I'm infringing upon your right and your freedom and your liberation. How many of y'all taught that by them? Why would I teach him that and give him this? Then let him, come read this, boy. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. See, this is what I'm best known for right here, right? We're said that all people are African descent. What do you say you from Asia? What did you say you from Europe? You from where? Okay, see, you up here, boy. See, all the people are African. See, descent, free or enslaved, were not United States citizens and therefore had no rights to sue in the federal court. So if I were to do something to hurt you, you go to court, ain't nothing happen. You still got my gun, right? Come on, me, boy. Man got my gun, I'll show his ass the law. He still won't do nothing. It's called programming. Because that same law showed it's a lot of, if he my slave, what would that make me? So there's the laws and amendment to protect me. If you did shoot me, where you going, boy? The jail. Who know why he going to jail? Because there are laws that protect my right to own him. Man, shut all these churches, shut all these synagogues down. Shut them down. They're a waste of time. You're a waste of time, you don't tell these people the truth. Just stop it. Like, nigga, just stop it. Where we going? Why we keep sitting around living a lie? You don't live here and go where? Do what? Explore where? Create what? Own what? Because whatever you own, he can use that constitution to come back to take it back from you. So you're essentially just working for build something to come take it. Because you're not a citizen. You're not afforded any rights. None was set up for you. Let's see. What's it right here? Despite, what is his name, Taney's long tenure as a Supreme Court justice, people vilified him for his role in the Dred Scott versus Sanford decision. In an iconic historical footnote, Taney would later swear in Abraham Lincoln the great emancipator as the president of the United States, 1861. First, most of y'all don't even realize Lincoln was never for the freedom of slaves. How many of y'all kids were taught that? That Abraham Lincoln freed you? And you were only taught that because he actually wrote a letter that actually came out with what his opinion was. You can pull up Lincoln letter. Let's read it. How about that? I don't want you to go, because you know what's going to hurt us, and this is how white people going to get you. What did you read that at? Oh, I didn't read it. My preacher told me. That's why we use this. You don't need to say that. I'm not lying when I tell you, but don't it make a difference when you read it? Now, how am I coming? Where you get this nonsense from? I don't care about if you're not from Africa. You from Africa? You are an American citizen. I'm part of the people make a fool out of you. Horace Greeley. If I could, the Union, with, what does this mean without? Not doing, freeing any, I would do, and if I could save it by freeing all the slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some, it will continue to tell you, he said, I would do it. So let me tell you what Lincoln was doing. He was only trying to save the Union. See, this is what we didn't realize years ago. White people in the South, why they keep the flag, why they show it? Because the South actually won. They did actually win. How many of y'all heard them say, yeah, where did these crackers get this from they won? They did win. The reason they lost is because they came the North and told us black slaves, if you fought and helped us, you will be free. They gamed us because the Constitution was never going to give it to us. So when they came to Lincoln, Lincoln said, if it'll help the South, if it'll help the Union win, because the Union, and it took down the Confederate. He said, if that's what we got to do we have to free all of them or just some of them? He said, we got to tell all of them they're going to be free. Go ahead and do it, because it saved the Union. He's a businessman. They were trying to unionize. They were trying to put everybody together under one umbrella. The South didn't want to do it. The South wanted to do what we want to do now. We just work, we can trade, and the South will beat them on industry. South will beat them on production. The South will beat them on shipping. Everything on it. The South will beat the North. They says because you got the free labor. Pay all what costs not spent, because the white folks ain't working for the chicken shit money we work for. That's how all this happened. So now y'all got your real history. Then you got the shit they gonna waste time and give you a book this thick, you still gonna get wrong. Because they won't tell you this. Were y'all ever taught about Abraham Lincoln in school? You want to talk about Abraham Lincoln? Were you taught about Abraham Lincoln? Told about him? Were you told that he actually only signed because he didn't want the Union to lose? Did they tell you this, Daniel? You don't remember? Y'all need to know this. Because they're going to show you people and tell you people that work for you, that help you. Tell them how they help you and you still in the situation you're in. If I help you, then you should be in a better situation, shouldn't you? Why do you keep believing somebody to help you and you're not in a better situation? See, you got to start looking at what you sign on to. But when you don't know people because you just keep trusting other people's verdict versus you doing your own research, you checking behind people, you have the power of what we didn't do years ago. If you don't understand the word, look the word up. Because you need to know white people using it for a reason. They learn how to talk around you, educate over you, and you miss it the whole time. You can sit right in the class with them, just like they told you, sit right in a state that liberates and give whites right and don't even give you any. So you don't think they know how to teach in a class of 32? In a class of 25 and your black kids sit here? I just know how to operate in a state with thousands of y'all mothers, millions of y'all mothers, and don't give you what belong to you. And if all y'all in my class, for some reason, I got to teach every one of y'all. They learn how to do it on a bigger scale before they learn how to do it on a smaller scale. They keep thinking you put your kid in a white school, they're going to learn. Your kids still won't learn shit. And if they do, what they going to do with what they learn? I still ain't going to teach them how to use it against me. That made it much sense to me telling him and then show him how to use their gun, tell him how he can use it against me. They ain't stupid. I got to constantly keep reiterating to him how really what looks like I'm hurting him is really for his own good. Let me borrow you for a second. Turn around, just turn around. Wow, 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 I hate I had to do that, but for your own good. You made me do it. I didn't want to do that either. Feel bad about it. Whop, whop, whop. It's because you keep doing what you be doing. It makes me do this. I don't want to be the person I am, Eric. First of all, I kidnapped Eric. I killed his kids and sold his wife off, okay? And I got him out here working on getting him shit, and it ain't fair to him. I treat him like shit and I beat. And I don't want to do this. I'm a good person, Eric. I'm sure you're a bad person. Bad people have to be whipped. You good, you sound. Because I got to teach him. Now, he goes home and he whips his child. Hypothetically, come in for a minute. Come on, you take this whip. Come on, you get up for a minute. You have to, you whip, come on, you get up. Now, he did something that you teach him the same way. That's right. And you tell him that ain't what you want to do, but it hurts you. And what had to happen to bad people? So he's stuck on bad person. He's stuck on bad person because of how I gave it to you. You passed the psychology down to him. And now where it should have been a learning tool, it actually came back to put infringement on his mind now. You're a bad person. That's the only reason he did it. It's because of you. You're a bad person, and bad people got to be beat. You understand that? Now you take this, and you finna raise you a kid. Come on for me, hypothetically, you his son. Come on. Turn around for a minute. Danny liking this shit. Danny, don't hit him. This is an exercise, Danny. Come on, Danny. Danny, you walk like that, your kid will be laughing like shit. But don't worry about it. It's an exercise. That's just exercise. Now, tell him why you did this, please. You didn't want to do it, but what happened? Tell him what he is. He's a bad person. He is a bad person. You tell him he's a bad person. And bad people have to be beaten. That's it. So this psychology keeps passing down because it came from me, the master. Versus, I'm not saying we don't whip. That's good, gentlemen. We don't whip, but we whip with instruction. Because the whole purpose of what the lineman we were using it for, which is the staff, was to instruct and to deter. Got it? But the way they gave it to us, we gave it back to them, and we left a bad infringement in their mind. See, white people whip their kid. They don't whip their kid the way to make them where they become suicidal, where they become detriments and danger. They whip them in a way and still cultivate them to grow. You got what I'm saying? How we're taught to do it is we put all the hate and the vigor in it, and we transfer the mindset into them that you are a bad person. So it's easy for them to buy into the psychosis that this is a given. When the police pull you over and beat you, what's different? It always happened to us. From slavery, from our parents. So the police is naturally just basically implement a program that we already done bought into. So now we even have to be taught how to chastise in a way that's not detrimental to their growth. That makes sense? I don't know. Let me stop. Let me move on. You ought to see some info for shit. You don't know what I'm talking about. When you're the people that's at the top of the worst of everything, when you're a person at the bottom of any type of advancement and really grow, then you got to start thinking that you got to start looking, examining why. You look at the psychosis. Look at what they've been giving you. These people control your psyche. They give you definitions and meanings of things that they actually just fabricate. They fabricated. These people play on what they call your psyche. On what you use to decide between right and wrong. For us, it's conscience. But you can't have a conscience unless there's something there to first establish what's right and what's wrong. When we came out of Mizraim, they called Egypt. In the 18th chapter of the book of Uyakra, Musa said, after the day you shall not do what? So now he went over, I just said, what you did in Mizraim. Everything you did in Mizraim wasn't wrong. Then you eat, then you sleep, then you live inside of a house. So I need to define what? As sleeping with your children, with your brother's wife, with your sister's husband. So he started defining the things you shouldn't do. So now when I go over hypothetically, let's say I'm finna sleep with my brother's wife. Hold on for a minute. I can't do that. No, that's wrong. I can't do that. My conscience is based off of law. Okay? and the penalty of what happened. What's supposed to happen to me? I'm supposed to get a trophy, a check, death. All that plays a part of my conscience, or why I can't sleep with my brother's wife. Come for a minute. Bam! What does the law say about killing your brother? Can't do it. What about a nigger? An African nigger. An African nigger. What is the law? There's no condemnation. You want to know how white people can do what they do to you in no conscience? What does the law condemn them? Here I am trying to plead with somebody that there's no condemnation. There's no conscience for you. One had been given. One had been taught. So why do you think I feel bad when I kill one of y'all niggas? When I shoot one of y'all niggas, when I beat one of y'all niggas, when I lie on one of y'all niggas, when I lock one of y'all niggas up wrongly? Why do you think I feel bad about it? What's the law? Then there's no conscience. Because there's no retribution for the act. We'll go back and start with what? Let's go ahead and read the book so I can get them through and get them out of here. They don't like that. They don't like that. They don't like me. People don't like me. For whatever reason, I don't know why people don't like me. People don't want to know the truth. You don't live in here. You'll be here for a few hours, then you're going to go out there and you got to live. And you got to learn how to navigate. When you got here, you know now when the man asks you a question, you got to think before you answer. And Billy said, what you do for him, it can be crucial. It can be crucial, your next move from now. So I'm trying to teach you how to navigate when you get outside the door. What we're doing here is giving you and predicate on teach you how to get through life. You don't just make it through. It's some people just going, but it's just a matter of time for you hit a trap. It's a matter of time for you get caught in a web or you get hit in the net. So I'm trying to teach you how to avoid traps, how to keep you out of situations that can wind up being your end, that could be your total demise. So we reading this book, we got to look at it a lot different than other people look at it, based off of what it says. All right, read. This is Romans 15:4. Listen.
For whatever.
For anybody looking, we use the Beth Mashiach, which he's supposedly have gone back through and translated and put the English vernacular into the Opera speech. Okay? So I want to make sure I'm clear about that. Listen.
For whatever Nikatab
was written, Nikatab was written before was.
For our Lamed.
It was Nikatab to instruct us, to guide us. Listen.
That we, through endurance.
Can't use patience. Why we can't use patience? You can't get angry. That's how white people beat you out. Why you can't get angry when a situation works against you and things not in your favor? You're supposed to be made in the image of Elohim. Why you can't be angry? That's what they teach you, especially when something frustrates you. Especially when you know something be done against you and you know it's not right. It might not be legal by their books, their terminology, but it's legal by our book.
Right.
By our terminology, which means we need to set up a system that's predicated off of our legal. That's what they did for them. See, you don't have to hate white people. You just got to hate your situation and change it.
Right, right.
If it's something you don't like, change it. Change it. Fix it so it worked for you to get you a better result. What do you think the purpose of Yahushua was coming? He didn't like the situation. The dynamics weren't working for you. It was working against you. So what do you think he did? Change the situation. Listen why. That we through endurance, not patience, and through
Nakum.
Nakum is the word for consolation, which is to console. Who do you typically console? Somebody grieving. Who kids being shot? We grieving. Who kids in mass incarceration? We grieving. Now your consolation was supposed to come through the Kitab, the Kitabim, the scripture, the writings, so that we might have your call, not hope. Let's look at hope. If nobody don't teach it, we don't know no better. Some of these people don't have no problem with these words. You should have a problem. A feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen. That's what a feeling of expectation and a desire for a certain thing to happen. Hope. He looked through her belongings in hope of coming across some information. His ass should have been slapped. Now we use a word that's called, we'll go through, and this is how you use this properly. This is called similar. Similar means something that's alike. Okay? Aspiration. Desire. You know how I learned about this word? Rick James taught me. Fire and desire, baby. When I look at you, it was pain before pleasure. Wish. Can we look at wish? Feeling or express a strong desire or
Hope.
for something that is not
Easily
attainable. Want something that can or probably will not happen. That's why I can't use the shit.
That's right.
Why am I sitting around hoping and wishing?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hope the Supreme Court overturn that Constitution. Is that probable? Is that probable?
Nope.
Is that likely?
Nope.
Is that a chance?
Nope.
It ain't gonna happen. So why would you teach me about hope? Hope is why we're in the hole we in. Bad information had killed us. Not understanding verbiage had really done a lot of damage to us. So let's go back and look at what we're looking at. See, people don't want to do this. This time.
That's right.
People lazy. They want somebody else to do all the work and just trust whoever talking.
Yeah.
Don't it make a difference when you, now you go and you say, hey man, don't you hope things work out? He said, no. What's wrong with you? You don't want to hope? Everybody supposed to hope. You said, no, because that has another connotation to it. What connotation? See, my preacher told me, stop. Nigga, you sitting here tell me what somebody else told you. Don't even realize I'm arguing with you with somebody told me, because I ain't never looked this shit up myself. But I'm finna cut you off and hold you to, you tell me what your preacher told you. Some man told you. Who told you what hope was? Because you couldn't have looked it up and looked at similar words. That mean the same thing. Which means they can show you something and you be dumb enough just to take it and run and not look down because they learn how to code things. You don't hardly hear no white folk run around talking about no hope. That's nigga talk. Until somebody teach you better, you ain't gonna know. They're going back. So we use your call. Let's look up your call. They use hope. We'll look at the Abri word. He used tikva. I like your call. Let's see your call. See, we don't teach our people the reasons why we do what we do. We're in trouble. We're in trouble because nobody never took time out to really teach us nothing. People taught us for their benefit. Nobody really taught us for our own benefit. I want to teach you in a way that it be beneficial for you. Because when you take this information you got, now you can strategize. Now you can come up with a real plan and solution. You can't come up with a solution, you don't even know who you are. You don't even know what detriment you even doomed to fall into out here. Based on bad connotation, bad verbiage. A lot of work. A lot of work. I hope y'all people really serious about establishing your own. For us, really establishing our own is just going back to what's already set up for us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We ain't got to do nothing different than going back to what we already been established for.
That's right.
The fact that we gone with what they had, that's why it hadn't worked out.
Yep.
That's not for it. He told them we got with these people. Not to say, you put your all, your call, your all. Man, stay, this wrong word, and trust. And put your all, okay. To wait, these are the words that he used to render, expect. That's what we do, to wait, to expect. So the whole purpose of why we go back to look at the writings, and we use it for a foundation in Romans 15:4, so we know what to expect while we're waiting. Y'all got it? So you need to understand why you're using it. Not just using it, but understanding why you're using Romans 15:4 for me. Because I'm waiting, but I'm expecting something. And what I'm expecting, I'm waiting for it. I'm not just waiting on it because somebody told me something. So when I go back and I look at the writings, I'm looking at them because there's something that should derive from those writings. For me, for you. You don't read their writings, it don't work for you. Let's go and look at the 8th chapter right quick of the book of, 8th chapter book of Abari. They call it Hebrews. Y'all give me a little minute.
Yes, sir.
You done got your little constitution learning. I gave you all the white man stuff now. Let Mr. Youre talk now.
That's right.
Now you got your little white teaching. Now you go out there and tell me, I's new. You can go out there like Sugar gave it. I's married now. I's married. You heard me, Dad? I said I's married. Next time y'all pull it, I'm gonna give you some Sugar Gabriel piss. Abari, chapter 8. We'll look at verse 4. Let's see what happened. This is 8 and 4 Abari. They call it Hebrews. Listen, Abari means the other side. That's what we need to do. We need to get on the other side. Listen.
For if he were on Arats,
He put, behold, if there was no Kohan on the Arats,
he should not be a Kohan, seeing that there are Kohanim that offer Baraka according to the Torah.
see that? He was saying if he was here, that he couldn't be a Kohan. Not in the order of being a high Kohan, because we already had somebody in that office. Now, what happened with us as Christians reading it, people didn't understand what the service was, first of all. We're talking about somebody that sets in, that goes in, and they're the person that actually prepares and they actually set the whole thing up. Y'all got it? That's what the Rosh Kohan, which is the head Kohan. They'll put priests. The priests are people that rape and have sex with kids. Then start crying and telling lies and acting like they didn't. And then try to get you over and dominate you to fall into that religion. Come on, putting no damn alka-seltzer in your mouth. Your stomach ain't hurt. Since there are those who offer the baraka, which is the gift, here according to what was it?
Torah.
So you understand what law is now. It's legal. So the things they offer are all according to what's legal. You just learned that from white people stuff, didn't you? So the things they offer gifts here according to what? To the Torah, which means now that's what's acceptable. Y'all got it? That's important for you to understand what's acceptable. Pick up Romans 12 right quick in 1. Romans 12 and 1. This is Romans 12 and 1. Listen.
I beseech you, therefore, Akim, by the Rakam of Elohim.
Rakam is the word. They use mercies. They ain't never showed you none why you can fool.
That's right.
It's Rakam of Elohim, who?
That ye present your basar, a Kai sacrifice.
There's a Kai mean living. You gotta make, when they knew, this is important because all of the sacrifices that we offer, we understood in a sense of two, okay? The one we were more familiar with was typically we took some and we slayed it, okay? For a sacrifice. Y'all got it? We took some, and what we sacrificed, when we made a sacrifice, it was gonna have to be something that typically was gonna be our best. Y'all got it? A sacrifice is something you're gonna use that goes above. Y'all got it? Y'all got it? A sacrifice. So that's what they understood. So they ain't saying a living sacrifice. Now they also understood a living sacrifice because when somebody had a son, he would offer his son as a Nazarite. Y'all got it? Which means that was a person that would live and had to keep a certain order.
Right.
Yahushua was called a Nazarite.
Right.
Shamshun was a Nazarite. And what was he supposed to do? He wasn't supposed to drink no wine, eat nothing that set his teeth on. His hair was supposed to grow long. All right? After this, we learned later, John Sharpatine, before we learned about it, it was only for a period of time. At that period of time, you was to cut it. But Shamshun was supposed to be one from the womb. Then we allow people that came along later, guess what? They would take the vow on themselves. So they would take the sacrifice on us saying, I will deny myself of these pleasures that other people partake in. I would deny myself of certain things we do as rituals. Now, if he wasn't supposed to cut his hair, what does that tell us about everybody else?
Cutting the hair.
Because it don't make sense to tell him not to cut his hair, no razor. Come on,
That's right.
if everybody ain't cutting their hair.
That's right.
That don't make common sense, does it?
Don't make
no
sense.
razor to come upon his head. We don't cut our hair anyway. Which tell you somebody don't know what they're talking about.
That's right.
Don't
That's
make
right.
sense to tell them that.
That's right.
But there was a length. At a certain length, they was to pull their hair. We learned that from who? From Absalom. What did you say? Cause a call. He talked about he pulled his hair. Every year he would come back and he would weigh his hair. He would cut it and he would weigh his hair because it would be so heavy and so thick. So Absalom would cut his hair every year. Y'all got it? He would trim it. So now we're talking about being a living sacrifice. So now we kind of have a premise of a living and we know about a dead sacrifice. So now when he told you, now here am I urge you, they say, beseech my Akim, plural for brothers, by the Rekam of Elohim, who present your basalt, your body as a kudash.
Sacrifice.
So we knew when someone's kudash, it means it was set aside for a purpose. Now he's telling you to take your body, your physical being, and I want you to set it aside for a particular purpose. Y'all got it? And it was important to let you know what kind of sacrifice were we doing, a dead or a living. Well, this was a living sacrifice.
Right.
There are things that you can do with your body. You can fornicate with your body. You can lie with your body. You can drink with your body. You can steal with your body. You can do anything you want to do with your body. But now he just told you to come in. I want you to dedicate it to me. I want you to do a sacrifice for me. That you'll take your body and you'll make it kudash, which means you'll set it aside only for my use. Let's see what's significant about doing this.
Acceptable.
That's what you look at with law. Acceptable. That's the law.
That's right.
That's why he told you that we had Kuhan that offer sacrifices, and they did according to, what was it?
Torah.
Which means that would be acceptable because Yahuwah gave you the law. I only gave you those laws because these are the laws I like. These are the laws I deem right. And the reason why you need to know that, you're dealing with the Constitution. These are laws that white people like. These are laws for white people. These laws that we're looking at are laws that Yahuwah like. These were laws for his people. So to go and try to make them change their laws is going to be moronic. Simply because they're made for his people. These laws, Torah will make, what are we going to do, change these laws because he don't like them? Because they don't fit sinners? So we got laws that fit us, don't we? Then let's get to it. Acceptable to who?
Elohim.
Who is your supreme ruler. That's why your Supreme Court bags theirs. Your supreme ruler bagged these laws. And this is your intellectual service. This shows your intelligence. So how you think you look at this white man when you go to court, you try to argue laws for black African Americans? You show your ignorance. You show your stupidity and your lack of respect for law. Let's see the next verse. Verse 2.
And be not conformed to this alarm.
Oh my goodness. And be not conformed to this alarm world, but
Be ye transformed
by
the renewing of your mind.
which is your law, because now we're dealing with understanding. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
Because we're talking about by your conscience now.
Right.
See, you've been ruled by a different conscience. The reason you've been fighting, trying to be a part of their system. Now, he just told you to be not conformed to. How do they understand that? When they were told they were going to be put among the people, they were already told not to conform to their system.
Right. Right.
So the fault with America ain't America's fault. It's our fault.
Right.
Because you were told when you came you were going to be put among people, and you weren't supposed to conform to them. Mm-hmm. You were supposed to be transformed by your intelligence, by your conscience, by your law.
That's right.
That's what he told you. And
And
be
you-
renewed by, it said, by the spirit of your mind. Right? That's what he said?
Yes, sir.
No, this is our conviction. So that you may prove Go ahead.
What is that too
What is the will, come on,
and acceptable
of Elohim, that which is true and
Talmim, will.
perfect will, which means his law is perfect. Tamim. Why we keep trying to argue, trying to make these people make their law fit us? Their law not perfect, it's flawed. Elohim law is perfect because it's what he wants. And anybody that does what he wants has to be Tamim. At the 17th chapter of the book of Bereshit, they call it Genesis. I know these people don't think I can teach. They think all I do is get up and hate white people. I don't hate white people. I hate wrong people.
That's right.
Whoever wrong.
That's right.
Bereshit. It's got to be a benefit. Everything we do has got to be a benefit. No benefit don't make sense to do it. Listen to the book.
And when Abram was 90 years old and 9,
And when Abraham was 99 years old, what happened?
Yahuwah appeared to Abram
And what did he say?
and said unto him,
What did he say?
I am Al Shaddai.
That's what he told him. They said Almighty Al Shaddai. What did he tell him he was? He was the mighty tit. Because he talked about nurturing us. It's important for you to understand what the tit is for. See, what a man, you look at the tit for sexually is different than what a child does. A child look at the tit as for nurturing. They look at the tit for feeding. And so now we understood he was talking about for I can nurture you. Sometimes a child get hurt. How many of you, your mama pick you up and hold in her breast, hold your chest. That already started to be a comfort. I can comfort you.
Right,
I can feed you.
right.
I can nourish you. So we learned that he was Al Shaddai, right?
Yes, sir.
The Shah, which is the shun, which is two. The Da for the Dal, which is the hanging. So now we have the hanging tits. Y'all got it? All right, listen. What do you want me to do?
Halak before me,
Walk before who?
me,
And
be thou Talmim.
that's how you're going to be blamed. Now, how is it going to be Tamim? Walk according to the law. You just learned that. What's acceptable? The law is acceptable. So if you walk before me, what he just told me to do? Keep the law.
That's right.
He just told him to walk before him and be, what was it?
Talmim.
So what is he going to use?
The Torah.
The Torah. At the 19th chapter of the book of Matthew. See if at 1917. Might have come back up. We'll see. Listen.
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me two? There is none two but one.
See, right here, he said, why call it down? Me too. This is differently. This is why our people, we try to get them why we look at something different. And he said to him, why is it that you ask me about what is good? That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
That now he just said, even Yahushua said he ain't good. So how you expect, think about, take the understanding from what you're reading. Tell me what is your understanding that your so-called Jesus said he ain't good? So now not tell me to be like Jesus. I say I'm like Jesus, I'm effing up. Where you get that from? Boy, I slap you in your mouth. Even Jesus said he ain't good. What would be the purpose of giving you a writing to tell you that your own Savior wasn't perfect?
Right.
Versus they had the conversation about what's good. Man, what's up? What's up, nigga? What's good? I just told him I ain't good. That's how detrimental that King James perversion is.
Yeah.
After he got, go to the crib, say what he meant. Well, see, he was saying the properly ISO and EXO the text.
It is.
All game. If they wrote it to confuse you, They wrote it to disable you, to give you a thought process that the man was a failure like you are.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to him, why is it that you ask me about what is good? There is nothing good but
one.
And that is
Elohim.
But if you desire to enter
Kai.
life, keep the.
Omar.
He's telling him the only thing good is what Elohim stated.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that make a difference in what you have in your book?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he told in the 18th verse. Y'all don't believe, I never even read that. I don't read it. Listen, I do this for a living. These folks got to study. They got to start it. Listen, I can take it, just throw it in there, I'm going to get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm honest. These folks don't know what they're doing. They make a mess out of these people. And he said to him, what are they? And Yahushua said, they are these. You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false testimony. How many that is? How many that were 4? How many y'all counted?
4.
4, all right. Honor your father and your mother and love your fellows as yourself, which is your neighbor as yourself. That's 6.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he said. The young man said to him, I have kept all these from my youth. What am I still lacking? He can't tell. Let's see if he told. He should have told him 4. Yahushua said to him, if you desire to be
complete,
go sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you shall have treasures in
Shamayim.
Then come here and follow me. Let's see what happened. 22. But it came to pass when the young man heard this debar, he became
upset
and went away because he had not kept Shabbat, had not had idol gods. So you just taught people you ain't got to keep the Shabbat. And you can have idol gods.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk to people all of that. All the stuff you don't talk to these folks you can do. Because he didn't cover everything for a reason. Roman Catholic Church dominated this. Roman Catholic Church didn't want that put up there because people that studied and looked, they were going to hold to the fact that Jesus said it. See, first of all, the teacher stuff like Simon said. You understand how Simon said? Simon said, raise your hand. Y'all raise your hand. Simon said, put your hand down. Simon said, wave your hand. Simon said, move your arm around. All right, now stop. See that? But you're supposed to be trained to see the pay attention. So everything I touch it, only what Simon said. You don't have your own mind, your arm ain't tired. Mm-hmm. Who told you were wrong if you stop? Y'all can stop now. Who told you that you were wrong if you stop? Now y'all can really stop for real. They still doing like that. But you know why they listen. But what they did is for the fact that showing them. The reason they didn't stop because Simon said it. Mm-hmm. So now you know why I got them at. These jokers here are go for, and y'all will go for whatever Simon said. Simon said jump on that. Simon said rub your head. Simon said no, stop rubbing your head. Stop. And I want to tell you that because it don't make sense. Why are you rubbing your head? Why are you rubbing your belly? Why are you waving your arm around? That Simon said, I just got it. Simon told me to do it. And that's where they put us at. They taught us to follow semantics, and we done ran behind it, and we didn't understand, but why? Why? We've been following the premise about a religion. Why? How? The whole purpose of religion is to get a man in connection with his creator. Mm-hmm. You've been following what the white man had taken for his creator that hadn't worked. He made his creator. He fabricated his creator. He created a language for his creator. My creator gave me a language. My creator made me. My creator teach me. I don't teach my creator. Now he forced it on me and left me there. Simon said it. Jesus said, if I hit you, you're supposed to love me anyway. Jesus said it. He knows what people do when he hear Jesus say something. Jesus said, you're supposed to be my slave. You prick up when you hear Jesus' name. Somebody beat somebody. I heard a lady, she was just singing. She wanted me to say something so bad. But I just got tired of shit in the religion. I said, damn, she wants my. I said, where you go? She said, what? I said, where you go? She said, Pastor. I said, Let me get this on here. Let me get it. I know she think I'm gonna ask me. I'm going, no, I want you to shut the hell up because you're getting on my nerve with this damn Jesus song. You don't know what you're talking about. And your ass back here slaving about to melt behind these hot pot. Just get my food so I can get out of here. I know she'll be done. I know she'll go to church tomorrow. I just want to thank the Lord. The man the other day asked me where I go. He could recognize me. How could I see shit a long way? I can see a turd way, but I ain't gonna run. Ooh, is that shit? I know shit. I just needed her to shut up. She got on my damn nerve. But you know, I used to be like that. I ain't tell that because I didn't want to just kill all the way out. Because I know a lot of people are going to accept what we say in a way to where they'll take it as building the fence versus I can actually show you why what you're doing is an error. So like this is how quick it took me to show y'all about the law and show you how things really aren't in your favor, what people got you thinking. Now, let me ask you a question. You think I'm the smartest person in the world? Not at all. Nowhere near it. You think I'm the first person to look this stuff up? The people that take you out and run out, people already know it. And they use us. How many lawyers don't know what I just showed y'all? They all know it. Which means all of us are being played. We give our money to people to play us. And they, listen, put all them books up there. You'll look, you say, man, I don't know how they study. You're exactly right, because they don't either. They only study sections and part. They don't know shit. They got to look it up. Call me next week. And they ain't going to do it. They're going to get their legal secretary to do it. Now they got in there, they can go online and look the shit up and pull it up. They don't remember this stuff. It's all just procedures. And they'll get them to look it up and they'll come and put it on you and boom, there you go. You don't just put no doctor, no surgeon there unless his surgery is similar to what he just done. He got to look it up. That's why he'll schedule you out. He's got to look at it. He's got a plan and draw it up on how he's going to do it. Not just jumping in here and just cutting no shit out of you. This ain't no cowboy days. Everybody got you thinking they smarter than you. They not smarter than you. They better do simply because you hadn't known. Give me the same information to see how much you really know. I've been told y'all was smarter than what you think y'all. You just looked at the information. You still stupid enough to go tell these people you're African American and demand your rights and tell these people you're a citizen. So you're not a dummy. Why this man ain't asking about them other folk? Why did Jesus, let's use that Jesus now. Why Jesus just led that man and told that man he ain't got to worry about the other four? He can commit adultery. That man, he can have idol gods. He ain't got to keep the Shabbat. And the man damn near perfect. With just 6 of them. White people are so dangerous that they'll mislead their own people. They know they fabricated and told this lie. They'll let their own people fight because they know some of us are smart enough to watch and look at why they don't go at all. So you got to have white churches. Because they're not stupid. We'll ask questions. They know some stuff. They'll ask questions. You got to put a certain amount of white people in jail. Because although we still outnumber them and the Hispanic people outnumber the white people, they still put white people there. But they get a different care than what we get. White people don't get the same treatment we get now. Don't be no fool now. They don't get the same treatment we get. They don't get benefit of the doubt. They'll beat you on trustee and everything. If they don't win it, it's because they got something better. White people got choices. You don't have no choice. You got to follow the rule. I'm trying to tell them. I locked up one time, Joe, when that white boy walked in that jail, he walked in that cell, he walked right back out. He said, I ain't going in there. Listen, walked in there, came right back out. He said, I ain't doing it. I just looked. Another white boy, he told him, he said, go in there. That white boy went in there. He came back out. He said, I ain't done it. He said, I ain't been on no young cat. Ain't happening. He said, you can throw me in a hole. I don't care. He looked at me. He said, you gone in now. I said, no. I said, I'm going to tell you now. I said, I ain't built for no stuff now. I went there. It worked out the way it supposed to work out, though. Hey, he said, what them white boys say? I said, they say I don't want to be in here with you. He said, racist ass. I said, exactly right. They left, listen, and there was a black officer they told it to. They said they ain't doing it. They said, you can throw me in the hole. I ain't going in there. They would not stay in that room with no nigga. And they ain't get locked down there. Got them there to set them up right out there. They found them somewhere to go in with somebody white. This in the 2000s, 17 or so. 18. These white folks do what they want to do. Listen, he ain't lock them down. He ain't putting mask them and nothing else. He letting them white boy do right what they want to do. They told him flat, I ain't doing it. You can lock me, put me in the hole, I ain't doing it. Walk right back. The boy was asleep. They looked there and saw he was a nigga through that cover. Psh, listen, walk straight back out the door. I ain't doing it. Two of them back to that. The other one did the same thing the first one did. And that they were toothless mothers too. See, they prejudge you quick. They get them benefit. You might say, hey, white folk locked up. White folk don't get treated like you niggas. They don't know that. They don't treat them. Yeah, they got to have some numbers in there. They not going to get treated like you. White folk got privileges. They ain't stupid. That's why I try to show y'all. Jump down. Let me see something right quick. The 20. Well, I want 25. Let's just jump down. Let's see something. No, you know what? Go to 23. I got to hit that now. They won't hit that. Because this another program they get you. And Yahushua said to his Militias, truly, I say to you, it is difficult for a rich man to enter into the Malkuth of Shamaim. They put heaven. How difficult is it? Moreover, I say to you, it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of than for a rich man to enter into the Malkuth of Elohim. Now, he just programmed you and told you rich people can't be saved. Mm-hmm. What was his conversation with the young man? What was good? What's good? The law good. What did the law say? Told you what the law say. I've been doing that. What I'm lacking? Take your possessions and sell them. I ain't doing it. That's his hindrance. You're supposed to be presenting your body a living sacrifice. You set everything you got aside for the purpose of whatever the master have need of it. You got it? Because he had more hard affection for his things than obeying the will of Elohim. You can't get in. They taught us in a way where, you know who going to heaven? Niggas. We ain't got shit. See, we gonna go to heaven. They're white folk heaven. You sound like an ignorant ass. Man, told you that. How you gonna tell you that when Shalom was one of the richest Malaks ever done lived? Every Malak we had was rich. One of him, Joseph, who they called Joseph, he was rich. They'll tell you shit like that. Because you know the whole purpose of why they teach you the Bible? Teach you to stay poor. Poor is happy. Poor is saved. That's what they teach you. They dumb you down. It don't even make sense. How'd you come out of Mizraim and you had great possession? Because you were going to burn in hell because you were rich? Because you can't trade and do business without anything. You have to have something. Something other people want to trade. Not a trading nothing off no prayer. We use currency. A made to use currency. Look at current. Something that conducts. That's why people use gold and silver and minerals and different things like that. And they tell you your money is currency. What does a current do? It'll run through. It can charge. It can electrify. What you think do a broke nigga come up, hey man, here go $100,000. Woo! He caught the current. Look at you say he's I started nunchucking. But you understand how it works. See, we don't know nothing, and we don't know how to use it to where it becomes beneficial to us, and we start making it work for us. When these people, well, they didn't do us. When we looked at, we met Yahuwah. Our fathers did. We came out of Mizraim. We heard him. The thunder. We seen the smoke, and that's what it was? Lightning. And you know what we did? We was moved. So we saw that currency can take you places. We learned, and these people learned from us how to take and restrict or control that currency and use it to electrify and charge others. Y'all got it, just like we do with the word. The word come and what we got, the feel we got, the things that we receive from it, we passed on our kids. We set up and we learned how to use it and we charged ourselves with it. You even tired of people took on a charge. Isn't that right? It kind of revitalized. They impose a task on them. Y'all got it? Same thing we do when they put these electrical switch. You put so much in a plug. You put so much in another light switch because so much of you depend on what you're going to use. You're moving from a 120, maybe a 225, depending on what you're going to be using it for. Because all of us were using Yahuwah, he gave us everything. He said, y'all going to need a lot of energy. That's why you'll see all these people like their conservation of energy. They're learning how to make things work for them like nature. They're learning you can't just keep taking because crackers are takers. We got to put back. They got it from us. We seed sowers. You can't keep a tulip going if you're not making no children. Eventually it's going to die and they start learning. They will take it. They got to learn how to put back, and they learn that from us. So all the information we gave, we come back. Now white people like they go green. Go to hell. We've been greening. Nobody taught us nothing. Tell me about no damn Indian. Around here, walk around no two feathers in your head. Where the damn eagle at? I'll get the whole bird. That's how bad we are. Walk around with a whole eagle ass on your head. Why it's living? If you suck that thing quick, another egg ought to shoot out your head. Verse 25, Caleb starting trouble again. When his Militias heard this, they were very stunned and said, then who is able to be saved? Because you know what they were looking at? The man said he been keeping the Torah. So they want to know who can be saved. Who can be saved? Because the whole purpose of us getting the Torah, after I delivered it, the only way he delivered it was to give it to us so we'll have some legal rights to things. That's why you start imposing law. When you'll find out that people are unfairly treated certain things, you start to set up legal and start to put in laws that'll enact, that'll protect. That was the whole purpose of having the law. The laws protect us that he wouldn't come and he'll be our enemy. But he'll be an enemy to our enemy because the laws favored us. Y'all got it? When he sent plagues on people, law protect us, it wouldn't fall on us. See, that's why white people, you see, even with COVID, they're going to revitalize and get them back out because there are laws. There are things that enact to make sure and protect, to preserve these people. There are laws that protect us, but we hadn't been using them. That's right. You're trying to go to their system. Their system was never designed for us. Even in what, the 32nd chapter of the book of all our heart dabarim, they called Deuteronomy, he told her, their rock is not our rock. Right. Move to the 26. And Yahushua looked on them and said to them, to the Benim of Adam, that says sons of men, the Benim of Adam, because Adam was the first father for us. This matter is perplexing. But to Elohim, the whole matter is not perplexing. What they said, with God, all things are possible. They made that. All they were looking at this was perplexing because they couldn't understand it. They may talk about what possibilities. They're just saying it was perplexing to them because they looked at the people that came before us kept laws. If those laws didn't save them, then who can be saved? Because there are people that had things. So he said that's perplexing to who? Us. They were asking the question because they were confused. Elohim, he said, it's not complexing when you look at Elohim. Let's see how this works. 27. And Kaf, that they're going to call Petros, answered and said to him, see, senor, we have left behind to follow after. What shall our portion be? Go ahead. So now they're looking at taking a whole and breaking it down into fractions. And Yahushua said to them, Aman, truly, I say to you, you who follow after me in the renewal, they say regenerate, when he renews it, of creation, when Ben of Adam sits upon whose throne? Of Kabul. You two shall sit upon, you two shall sit, I can't hear y'all. You two, that means in conjunction and not two of you. Shall sit upon the 12 matah of. Why y'all think these crackers got a 12-person jury? Who they judge? They judge citizens. So when you sit there, that's why the verdict don't work out for you, because you're not a citizen. You don't find this amazing that they were going to sit upon 12 thrones, that each one of these jurors not sitting in each other's lap, they all sit on a seat? And they're here to see the matter and hear the matter, and they make a judgment call? To judge Shaphat, the 12 matah of Yasharal. Let's see what else happened. 29. And any Ish man who has left behind, or Akuth, or Abba, he shall receive, or Aim, his mother, or Ashar, or which a land, for my name's sake, Shem's sake, he shall receive 100 times and shall inherit Alam Kai. They want to know what their portion was. Let me ask you a question, Mr. and Mrs. Nigger. What exactly are these crackers supposed to be giving you for leaving your house and your land, your wife and your children? And your black ass still here fighting with me. We business people. They want to know about it. What we getting? That's a realistic conversation. I done left all my stuff behind to run behind you. Now what am I getting? See, y'all not serious about being saved. Because you serious about being saved, you don't question and ask God about giving you nothing. That's how I know y'all not serious about being saved, because you worry about yourself. That's how they punk you out. They punk you out. Why he ain't tell they gonna burn in hell, as they call it? Why he ain't telling you heathens? You don't question me. I'm trying to save you. You worry about what you gonna get. It's white folk rhetoric. The men businessmen. I love my family. I used to own shit. Me and my brother were like this. Me and my sister twins. Me and my daddy were real close. And my mama, she needed me. What am I getting for this? Man said, I'll give you another mother. Shit, that mean I could, see, you know what they say. That's how you sing. If I lose my mother, Jesus, give me another one. That mean I'm missing 99, nigga. Saying old tired shit. If I lose my dollar, falling Jesus, he'll give me another one. And his ass will be short, cause I'm missing 99 more. That's how they get you. That's a sweat. That means, yeah, I can stay what I got. Okay, if I follow him and I lose my mother, he'll give me another one. I ain't nothing wrong with this one. What's the motivation?
No benefit.
There's no benefit. See how they teach you to stay here? Because your ass don't even know how, you don't do proper math. You have no understanding. Why are you swapping out the same thing for the same thing? Man told me to get 100 because the motivation is, wow, it's more than worth to follow. I receive way more than what I'm giving up. This is a great business opportunity. And not to mention, I live forever. Who wouldn't follow somebody like that? So why are you following America? We heard it playing. What exactly you supposed to be getting? So why are you so anxious to stay here? Why are you so, what do they offer you? You're not even good business people. You're terrible business people. Who went 100? You'll give me 99 more better than the one I got that I want? I can't lose. Whatever amount of money I lose, you're 100 times that, how am I losing? And I'm going to live forever. It's a no-brainer. I don't need nothing but Jesus. When you ever read that? Never read it. How you sung it? How's your phone saying? Don't need no doctor, no lawyer, no sister, no brother. As long as you got Jesus. Where you get this stuff from? These slave songs. These slave songs that your master taught you that he won't sing. Let me say, Justin, you said you used to go to church with your grandmama. You remember when y'all was sitting down and they were saying, as long as I got King Jesus, I don't need nobody else. You know when your grandma to get up, no lawyer, no teacher, no doctor. Long as I got, don't need nobody else. You remember when your grandma was saying that? Grandma, you wouldn't even drive home. She just walk. Don't need nobody but Jesus. You remember your grandma just leave her car? White folk don't say no ignorant shit like that. It's ignorance. It's buffoonery. Nobody, the people gave it to you, won't sing it. What, you went to church your grandma one time? You went with her several times. And you might have forgot when she used to sing. She'd get the shout. They used to have to put the ammonia under her nose and she'd pass out. How many of y'all remember church y'all went to sung it? Playing the song. Do you remember your grandma used to just play on the radio when she'd ride home? How y'all niggas heard it? See, all I'm trying to get us to wake up to realize, trying to rouse you to think, people played us. Let's finish that Aubrey 8. So I try to let y'all go. Here y'all alone. I got to eat. I must get some hemp. I ain't gonna lie, I was right last night though, boy. I was right. I ain't need nobody else either. I need Yahuwah though. I ain't need nobody else. I like to be right, boy. That's all I want to do when I get through. I want to eat. I want to smoke me some hemp. That hemp make me relax. Make me meditate. You know right? And I want some more. All right, listen. I know some of y'all want to smoke crack. You shouldn't. Somebody talk about last night. Yeah, that's right. Somebody uncle last night was talking about smoking crack. I ain't gonna talk. I ain't gonna call his name yet. Ain't that right, Hayward? Yeah. This is 8 and 4, Aubrey. Come on. Listen.
For if he were on Arad, he should not be a Kohan.
Why?
Seeing that there are Kohanim that offer Baraka according to the Torah.
So now, this is what y'all got to think about. Now, he's trying to get you to understand something, okay? First of all, he said, Yahushua coming on the scene to be a Kohan wouldn't make sense if someone's already operating in that position and it works.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
You're only replacing because there's an inefficiency. Y'all got an inaccuracy. There's a defect. Okay? Let's see what happens.
Who serve unto the example and shadow of Shamayim things.
For example, all the example is so they be no, it's just a copy. That's all it is. If you take something and you copy it, it's the same exact.
Right.
That's how, if you copy it, it'll come out just like the first one, unless your printer messed up. All right? So who serve, they actually serve as a copy and a shadow. Does a shadow show it, like if we did a reflection of like, say we put a light on CJ up against a wall and it was dark. Should we see the body build of Lou Ferrigno when he was the Incredible Hulk? That's not a copy. Isn't that right? That's called a forgery. That shadow, yeah. You see what I'm saying? That copy or that shadow should reflect the first order.
Right.
Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
Make sure we understand. Because a lot of times I don't think people really put in their minds to understand. He's showing you two things that both predicated off of the first. You can't make a copy of something that ain't already there. And you can't get a shadow unless you have an image. Mm-hmm. That's what he's trying to get us to understand, right? So he said, who served a copy and a shadow conjunction and the things that are in Shamayim, just as
Moshe
was
admonished of Elohim when he was about to make the Mashakhan.
Let's say erect. Erect means to fix or fix it firm. Erect and affix it firm. That's supposed to be firm. That's why for those, don't take it, they'll tell you about a man having an erection. That means the penis becomes firm.
Right.
They're using erect because they'll tell you it was supposed to be firm.
Right.
See, you can say, otherwise, what? Now, how did it read again, what you said?
As Moshe was admonished of Elohim when he was about to make the tabernacle.
You can make something. You can make a mess. But when you've been told about pitch, they use the word in Old Testament, they use pitch, which means erect, and it had to be firm. Because you got to remember, people were going to dwell in it. People was going to live by it, so it needed to be firm when you stand it up. Just like Yahushua when they put him on the two.
Right.
That's why they used the tree. Because the tree was supposed to be, he told you in Tahalim 1, he talked about a man, he shall be like a what?
Tree.
Planted where?
Rivers of water.
That's how Yahushua was. The people was referred to as Ma'im water, and he was on a tree, which means he was firm when he was there. He was erected. They're like the pillar erected. So he had to be firm. Y'all got it? So he told him it had to be established a certain type of way because so was Shamayim. You're patterning something.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
For see, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern shewed to thee in the heart.
Just like the sod. The sod is the pattern. You remember that? You said I'm pointing for you to it? Mm-hmm. So you make the sod, it's supposed to resemble. It's supposed to be a copy.
Right.
So everything that he gave Moshe, the pattern was based off of the first works. Make sure you do it this way. Make sure it's firm, that it's erected, that you pitch it within, without, so it's good on every side. Sometimes you get people the outside good, but the inside flimsy. So you pitch it, you just like, and we learned that from who? He got you. You can't sack it. You number 3. Noah. They're right. Noah, who they call Noah. He had to pitch. See, when he pitched it within and without, because you got to remember, people had to be able to withstand. It had to have durability for the weather. Then it had to be durable for what was going to dwell in it.
Right.
Y'all understand that?
Yes,
That's what
sir.
he told him to pitch, and he told him to pitch it within and without. So now we learn how we have to establish ourselves. We got to be firm for what we got to deal with out here and be able to handle what we got to put on the inside. We got to put the Ruach HaKodesh to dwell in it. So if it's not pitched within, what's going to happen? You're going to lose your cargo. Y'all understand? We learned these patterns from the writers before. That's why whatsoever was Nikatab was written before was Nikatab
For our alignment.
to instruct us that we through enduring, meaning to go through something without giving way. Y'all hear? Might have.
Your call.
We waiting with an expectation. Right? Noah, through all the weather and stuff he went through, he had an expectation that it was going to end.
Right.
That he was going to be able to be established again.
That's right.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So he came through it the first. Now we following the pattern, which was shown you where?
In the heart.
In the heart. Where's Shamayim at? On the ground?
No.
So that's where he learned it. He got it from there, and he came back down and gave it to the people that were here. So he had to go up to get it and come to give it to the people that were here. All right, come on. Listen, verse 6.
But now hath he obtained a more excellent Shara. But how much also he is the mediator of a better Berith,
Berith for covenant. Right here, Berith. Go ahead.
which was established upon a better Shaba.
Hold on a second. Let me read it. He said, but now he has obtained a more excellent Shareth, as much as it is a better Berith, Berith, they put the Berith, Berith, that he is the mediator This is what they told us, mediator. They put the shah for mediator, sasur for mediator, of it, which was established upon better promises and
Benefits.
Now, this is what we'll use to emulate or to come back to use an example for amendment. Amendment making it truer. And what they're trying to say was already accurate. He told you this one right here was set upon better promises and benefits. Benefits is what you receive. Y'all got it? That's right. All right, let's see the next one. For
If that first berith had been faultless,
what happened?
then should no place have been sought for the second.
They claim their Constitution didn't have no faults. Wasn't nothing wrong with theirs. Why would you need to do better benefits? Why would you need to have benefits and you need to set better promises if it didn't have no defects?
Right.
Why would these folks tell you they came up with something more truer? What they called it, what they said, what the word they put? Who? Fairer.
Fairer.
They need to admit and tell the truth. They got faults in their Constitution. Why got amendments?
Right.
Got amendments.
That's
They'll
right.
tell you their amendments mean, no, I just made it even more fair. For who?
Right.
For whites.
Right.
Not for you.
Right.
He gave better promises because you're looking at, when he established the berith at the first, who did he establish it with?
And they were there.
Those that were there, which means who did it enable?
Us.
The people that came after who weren't there. So he came back to establish a second one, didn't he? And the second one didn't disannul the first people,
Right.
berith, but what it actually came in and did, it came in and joined to connect some people who weren't a part of the first one. So this second one he said, don't disannul the first people's. It just came and it enacted where it bring everybody to fair and get everybody an opportunity.
Right.
The white man gave you a constitution that never gave you any rights, no rituals to do, well, you kept ritual, but it didn't give you any benefits. And when he said his amendments, it even put you in a worse situation. Because all it did was empower the people who actually facilitated the wrong being done to you. Yahuwah came and said, I came to redeem you.
Right.
We had to learn what redeem was.
That's right.
How many of y'all forgot what redeem is? Well, let's look at them and let's see. Because he used that on several. They used the word redeem. That's not one of our words, but it's similar to what our word would be. It's important for you to know what words mean when he said, I'm Yahuwah that redeemed you. I need to know, first of all, how did you redeem me? Redeem. It means to compensate for the
Fault.
So, let me see. Had the first berith had been faultless,
Right.
be sought for the second one. If there wasn't, why would you need to be redeemed? Because of fault. Compensate for the faults or bad aspects of something. So he told you I'm the Yahuwah that redeemed you. What is he trying to tell you I'm trying to do? I'm trying to make up. I'm trying to make sure, I'm trying to make this thing right. So when we came out of Mizraim, we came out with so much gold and so much silver. I'm trying to compensate. Then you know what they try to say? Y'all niggas kill me. I always damn want some money for something. We're trying to compensate for a fault. Get
Right.
an accident and somebody else fault for negligence. What do we want?
Money.
Want to be
Compensation.
redeemed. Want to be redeemed.
Yep.
We've been enslaved by these bastards. What do we want?
Compensation.
Won't compensate. We want to be redeemed. Compensate us for the fault. Why I gotta be about money? Why I can't just be opportunity? Hell no, I need money.
Money.
I want money, lots and lots of money. I want that pie in the sky. That's a gospel song.
Yeah.
I don't want day shit. Whoa, whoa. We want money.
That's right.
Lots and lots of
Yes,
money.
sir.
So y'all see what it is? To compensate for the faults or bad aspects of something. White folks got faults and bad aspects. And I expect to be paid. rightly,
Yes, sir.
and politely,
Yes, sir.
and if possible,
All
all damn
nightly.
nightly. Isn't that right?
That's right.
Chris, when I want your help, I tell you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sometimes you get too much help. Come on, finish up this 8th chapter. I'm going to get y'all finished. This is verse 7. All right, verse 7, we saw that. Verse 8. All right, listen.
For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the Yamim come.
The time is coming. When?
Saith Yahuwah, when I will make a new berith with the beth of Yasharal and with the beth of Yehuda.
Hold on, stop for a second. Let's read the same way, just kind of turned around. For he said, in finding fault with them, here, behold, the Yamim days come, said Yahuwah, when I shall conclude. When you conclude, then you finish with it. With the beth of Yasharal and with the beth of Yehuda, a new berith that's going to join. He said, first of all, I got to conclude with here. I got to come to my end with this right here. Yasharal been scattered. They've been put out too. They were ousted. We became the first. So now they got to get a berith that's going to come in that's going to put us all back together. Verse 9. What did he tell her?
Not according to the berith that I made with their Abba. In the Yom, when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the Beth of Mizraim.
You see that? Just like a father take his son. Sometimes, how many of y'all been with your kids? Sometimes you'll get their hand. You say, give me your hand. And you'll lead them and take them. That's similar to what he said. That's what I did with you. Y'all got it? A child smaller had to put their hand up. Isn't that right? He said, that's like it was when I brought you out of the land of Mizraim. He said, when I took you by the hand, what did you do? When you took me by the hand, what did you do?
Because they continue not in my
He
berith.
said to lead them out. That was the purpose of why he did it. He was leading us out. That's why we'll do this. What's this? Halah. What did you say? The mission? Submission? Okay. So Halah, basically when we do Halah is we asking him to guide us. That's why I tell him the Halah. Halah is two people use this, us and Muslims. Muslims use halal. Halal means food that's sanctioned to eat. When you go, you ever see food from them, it'll say halal food. That means that's food that their God sanctioned for them to eat. That's what the Muslim call halal. For us in Arabic, we use halal. Halal means to guide. Some of our people, because of misinformation, haven't studied, they'll use halal for praise, but it's not. It's a person looking up for guidance. Sometimes, y'all remember Florida on Good Time or Ugly Ass? She look up and you'll see them cake rolls on her neck. She start asking for shit for James and stuff. You know, cause you remember how many of them open their look and say, Lord, because you're doing it at that point. You're looking up for guidance. That's how we know we teach him. Allah is asking him to guide. Y'all got it? So he brought us out by your hand. See that? Because you Allah. You got it? For direction. That's why I said I led you. You didn't lead me, I led you. Out of the land of Mizraim. That's what we're doing now. We're looking for Yahuwah to do what?
Allah.
Allah. Guide us out and give us guidance to get out of him. Because they did what?
Continue not in my berith.
I'll just say basically they broke it. What we told about the Torah?
Cannot be broken.
It couldn't be broken. So now guess what he had to do? I had to make up for a fault. Got to make up for a fault. That's a fault. It's a bad aspect. Because you weren't supposed to break it. You were taught that when you brought a sacrifice to me. That you couldn't break anything to me that had a broken leg or a crook hind. None of it. You couldn't bring it to me. It had to be what? Talmeen. So when I told you about being Talmeen, being perfect, what would you base that off of? Sacrifice. Of the sacrifices. They couldn't be broken. And now I'm telling you to keep the Torah. Because this is a sacrifice.
Right.
So what am I telling you about the Torah?
Can't be broken.
It can't be broken. So now I had to come in and set up something to where you wouldn't break it. That's right. Took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Mizraim because they
continue not in my berith.
And
I regarded them not.
Tell the truth. This is a parent. They can't come and lock me up for no neglect for Danny. First of all, I'm not their parent. I ain't responsible to keep up with Danny. How you gonna charge me with neglect? You charge parents for neglect. since you wouldn't do what I told you to do, you wouldn't follow and do like the Torah told you supposed to do with what was you supposed to do with your Abba and your aim?
Honor.
Honor him, and you were supposed to obey them, shama them. And since you didn't, I neglected you. He said, I admit it. That's a problem. I neglected you. And we need to come and we need to amend this problem. Y'all got it? Let's see what happens. Says Yahuwah. Let's see what happens. For this
is the berith that I will make with the Beth of Yasharal in
When?
those Yamim.
He said after those days. First of all, we got to come along, we got to try to fix this. We got to come in and recognize what the problem was so we can try to make sure we don't repeat the same act. The problem what happened with us was going to church and doing what we did. We never knew what our problem was. So we were constantly repenting every Sunday. We were constantly going back through the same rhetoric because we didn't even know what we'd done wrong. We didn't even know what he actually really required of us. Nobody knows the man. Who has known the man of the Lord? See, this is the foolishness they try to tell us. Yet he told you that they all should be taught of Elohim. Every each therefore they had, and
Lama.
he been learned. He's learned. What does he do? That's who come to me. So the reason why we hadn't came to him because we weren't properly taught. These folks taught us, these preachers in these churches, these mosques and synagogue, all of them included, Hebrew Israelites, have kept us in derision.
Yup.
And now we're able to sit down and look and let's properly sit down and examine the man's speech. Because I'm telling you that I'm going to make a new one. When? After we accomplish, once I conclude. So then we're going to come back and we're going to establish something after this. Says Yahuwah, I shall put my Torah where?
In their mind.
Among them. And I shall
Katab.
on their laws. I'm going to put them on their inward parts. Let's see what happens. And I shall be to them as?
Elohim.
What is as?
Same
To the
degree.
same degree. And they shall be to me as a
As
an arm. Let's see what else he told you gonna do. And they shall teach no more everyone his fellows.
citizen.
See, you're a citizen with him, not an American. And everyone his ak, saying,
Know Yahuwah.
for all shall know me from the least to the
greatest of them.
And then let me see what he said. Verse 12. For I shall be recome to their unrighteousness and to their
Kata.
iniquities. Shall I remember?
No more.
That's what we've been waiting on. Be like the mafia. Yeah, forget about it.
Yeah.
That's what we've been waiting him to do. With me, our people have still been holding their kata. He's still been holding out our transgression against us. He said, until I accomplish this. You think that they want us to know that there was a time period that come into play that Yahuwah said that he was going to show recom to us? That he wasn't going to remember that anymore? You know how much people don't throw stuff in our past? These folks hold your criminal record. I don't give a damn what happened to you. The whole purpose of that to make it look like you haven't been forgiven. But see, you got to look at, you've been judged by their states. You've been judged by their rule. Mr. Yahuwah said, I won't remember it. When I establish this with them, I'll stop holding that against them. We're going to break that barrier chain we had to where these children were going to suffer because of our wrong, and we were suffering because of the wrongs of our fathers. He said, listen, we're not going to keep using that. He said, I'm going to hold every man that every man going to stand for what he does wrong. No more you're going to say that the children are suffering for the father and the father suffering for the children. Every unashamed is going to suffer for himself. If you live right, he said, your Sadiq is going to get you in. I'm going to stop setting up the pattern where other folks going to suffer because of other people wrongdoing. Everybody going to stand and have to give accountability for himself. Even the book declares that we shall all appear where?
For the judgment seat.
To give account to what? Done in his body. I got to stand for what my daddy done too?
Nope.
No, I got to stand for what I done in my body, in my pasah. That's why he told me to take it and you need to keep it and it need to stay kudash. Set it aside for me so I can use it. Let it be for my use. And when you get that, then we get the benefits. Y'all got it? That's two. Wonderful Houston. They won't like that message, but it's out there. Say like Shaul, shall I yet please men?